Good evening, all, and welcome to the Tactical Devils. I'm your host, Jarvis, and with me tonight I have Stu, Woolley, and hopefully Cass will join us, and Noradin also will join us. It will be an interesting show because tonight we have heard that Eddie Howe got the sack from Newcastle United, and it means there's an opening for Lewis Hall, according to Samuel Luckhurst, saying that Man United are weighing up a move for Lewis Hall, who wanted to leave Newcastle before the Eddie Howe news. And there were rumblings that Howe would go 2 weeks ago. And also there's a report coming out from Graeme Bailey saying that Man United are preparing an opening move for Lewis Hall following Eddie Howe's shock departure. Sources have told Team Talk. Always when it comes to Graeme Bailey, take it with a pinch of salt, but I think we are getting closer to an opening bid for Lewis Hall. We are talking about somewhere in between 65 to 70 million pounds, but I think we will try to negotiate the price down as best as we can. There's also some updates on Tchouaméni. We know that Real Madrid is closing up on Rodri. There are apparently talks ongoing, and we are looking at Tchouaméni and his new contract. Apparently, his new contract isn't written in pen and paper. It's just a verbal agreement. So he might escape and come to Man United. I don't know. What's your thoughts? Do you think Tchouaméni could come to Man United? Is this just a play for the gallery that we see again with these Real Madrid players? There's also an update on Mamadou Sangare from RC Lens. Apparently, Brentford are going in for him with a big transfer. Medical is set to be done soon. So that leaves the end of the Mamadou Sangare chances for us to get a brilliant midfielder that we have been talking very well about for, I would say, now 1.5 years. So it will be interesting to follow that transfer saga. There's an update on Harry Amas. He apparently have 1 year left on his contract. That's why Man United are trying to offload him £6 million and probably a hefty buyback clause and sell-on clause. So we will see what will happen with Harry Amas. There's some updates on Kone. There's some updates on Alex Scott. There's lots to talk about. And Stu and I and Cass and Nuruddin will do a segment breaking down what we believe will be Carrick's tactics for the next season. You will see the good old tactical board, and yes, we will have a proper debate. So guys, I see a lot of you have tuned in, a lot of comments in the chat already. Please do us a favor, smash the like, subscribe if this is your first time on the Tactical Devils. Please do hit that bell notification, and Stu and I will be back after this 5-second intro. So see you guys in a second. Yes. Welcome to the Tactical Devils. Welcome all the legends. Welcome Stu. Welcome. Let me just scroll up. Let's see who's in the house. We have Saden Kraman. We have Yalmalmin. We have Tom Porter. Big up Tom. We have Succulent Chinese Meal 11. Okay. We have Luman. We have Blank. Big up Blank. Good to see you. We have Irish Pit Terrier coming in. Danny B saying hit that like button on the way in with the green and gold emoji heart. Yes, do as Danny B tells you. Smash the like. We have Neil Driscoll in the building. Big up Neil. Good to see you. Jamie, Wayne. We have all the legends tuning in early. So many of you. Ramos is in the house. Is it just me? We have Man United for life. We have Monty. Johnny Kermode, we have Becca Betts, we have so many of you. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we have Ace. Big up guys, big up, and let's get ready for a cracking show. So welcome to the show, Stu. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm all right, mate. I'm all right. Big hello to you and the Devilish Tacticos as always. But just before we start, young Vicky's not well, so just a big Devilish Tacticos get well soon, sweetie, and join us back when you can. So if you're watching this, big wave. But apart from that,
go out to you, Vicky.
Yeah, Wiki. You got to call her Wiki.
Wiki.
Yeah, quite an interesting day, I have to say. Looks like a lot's happening, doesn't it, to be fair? So it'll be interesting to get into it today, pal. Interesting to get into it.
It will be interesting. And by the way, Stu, you want to say hi to the late arrivals? While we speak, I just want to send the link to Nuruddin and Cass. I have forgot.
Yeah,
so
big hi to Tom. Good to see you as well. Bilal is in the house. We also have Sadakram, if that's how you pronounce it. Sadakram? Crumman? Anyway.
I don't know.
Yeah, anyway, welcome. I did see somebody's in from Madrid. Did I see Madrid or Spain or something like that earlier in the chat when I was flicking through? G. Ramos is in the house. What? I could have sworn I saw somebody is in from Spain, but I could well be wrong.
I did so. Yeah, there are someone tuning in from Spain.
Chinese is in from Spain. Yeah, good to see you, mate. Thank you very much for joining us. And of course, Johnny K is in as well. Yalam Amin, life lessons. Blessings, gentlemen. It's been a while. It has indeed. So welcome back to you all. I hope you're looking forward to the show. The tactical breakdown should be quite fun.
Yes, guys. Yes. The tactical board is ready. I know you have missed it so much, the tactical board. So yes, it's set up with Chouameni in the 6. So let's see your Thunderbirds. We will have the debate. So it will be interesting. And also, by the way, mentioning Thunderbirds, there are some. I saw a link today, and actually it's quite an interesting one because I saw Fulham signing a new midfielder, Cesar Palacios to Fulham. Here we go. Deal agreed on both players and club side with Real Madrid, a 10 million transfer fee and a 30% sell-on clause, Marca reports. So Real Madrid is matching rights for both Palacios and González Garcia. So what we are seeing now is actually Fulham signing a midfielder. Could that mean the Thunderbirds could be available? I'm just asking the question. I don't know.
Not going to Jamie Wayne.
No, it can't be. If that's true, Jamie Wayne.
I think with Rodri pretty much odds on to go, it would make sense, wouldn't it, for City to look at Thunderbirds? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but we know they are after Bouadi, the Moroccan midfielder. So I don't know.
I don't see it with Bouadi. I don't see it. I think he's a good player, very, very good prospect. But you can do one for 100 million quid if they're dumb enough. Seriously, to pay 100 million quid for Bouadi. Honestly, you just won't let them do it because that is just.
It's pocket change for Manchester City. They don't care about money. They know they're getting the 150. So it's just about grabbing as many players as possible for the final point deduction and transfer ban for 1 or 2 seasons. So they're just looking after themselves in the way we know Manchester City have done for many years.
I would let him pay 100 million for Bouadi anyway because I just think that's stupid money that is.
Crazy. EM Merlot, big up.
Yeah, Jamie.
The background looks like Norway.
I don't know. It looks very nice.
Looks nice. Silverback Gamer Beast is in the house. Yeah. And Life Lessons Television. Big up LLTV coming in and say I can't wait to see. Here we go for Lewis Hall for left back. Yes, that's the main topic. So Stu, you heard the latest reports. Let's go into the main topic. Luckhurst came out with this one earlier today, so let's just bring it up and read through it, saying that Man United are weighing up a move for Lewis Hall, who wanted to leave Newcastle before the Eddie Howe news, and there were rumblings that Howe would go 2 weeks ago, apparently, according to all the reports we have heard. And also, Graeme Bailey, throw himself on the bandwagon, saying that Man United are preparing an opening move for Lewis Hall following Eddie Howe's shock departure. Sources have told Team Talk, and Newcastle maintain he's not for sale. Well, they tried their tricks before, but we are not giving up. We are not giving up. And a little birdie told me that he really wants to come to Man United. So for me, I'm just waiting for him to push for the move.
Yes. So I wrote that and sent that to Luckhurst because quite honestly, anyone could have done that at 9 o'clock this morning. I mean, fucking hell. The great journalist Samuel Luckhurst. I know somebody very well connected at Newcastle United. And when I mean very well connected, I mean very, very well connected. He may or may not, but may sit in the director's box at Newcastle United. So the Eddie Howe stuff was nothing new anyway. And it's been going on for months, not weeks, absolute months.
Yeah.
He's been falling out with the board. They've never really bought into him. The PIF are scaling back, as we know, right across the board in terms of all sports activities. And they're always going to look to Saudi Arabia to replace him, which they've done. They brought somebody in, as we all know. That's been highly publicised this morning. And Eddie Howe realised the writing was on the wall months ago, according to somebody I may or may not know. It may or may not.
The rumours have been crazy. There were even some rumours saying that Arne Slot wanted a Newcastle job, and he was surprised that they didn't call him.
Yes. So the Eddie Howe thing was actually nothing new. What the straw about the camel's back, I don't know because I haven't spoken to him today. But as I say, it's nothing new. Reference Lewis Hall. Absolutely no doubt he's what we need. No doubts. I think 70 million quid's a bit rich, personally. I think there are some decent left backs in the Premier League you could get for around 30 to 40 million. Some in the Championship. I agree with Cass. I think Leith Davis would be perfect for us, but nobody would want him because, well, he's not Championship anymore. He's at Ipswich because he's played at Ipswich, got relegated, etc. And there's Bruno at Wolves. I like him. Not brilliant defensive, but great going forward. But there's absolutely no doubt Lewis Hall would be a perfect fit for perhaps what we are wanting to do. I can't see anything happening until the end of the window with him. Because any new manager is going to want to put a complete hold now on any sales going out of Newcastle. So we're not going to see any movement at all until he's come in and assessed his squad. Any decent manager would do that. Anyone who's got some brains would do that. People are saying Newcastle need to sell, they need the money. Well, they just raked in 100 million quid, haven't they, from Tottenham for Tonali. So they're not in that worse a position or better position financially. But there is problems at Newcastle. There's been problems for a long, long time at Newcastle. The fans aren't particularly happy with the way it's going. They're more unhappy with the ownership model than they are with or were with Howe. There was never really any gathering amongst fans on Tyneside to remove him, not that I was aware of anyway, and I don't think we've seen anything rumblings wise in and around the Twitter sphere or the YouTube sphere. So he's going to be a bag for somebody, is Eddie Howe. Absolutely. He will be a great manager. I would imagine there's a few clubs at the moment thinking, what do we do now? If we knew Eddie Howe was going to be on the market, maybe, just maybe, we wouldn't have gone for X, Y, or Z. So it's a shame for him. I think it's a bit of a shame for us as a whole, but I think there's probably some legs in the Lewis Hall deal. But I would say you're not going to see that sooner. It's more likely going to be a later deal. I would think our biggest priority, anyway, above all, is the midfield. This we've got.
Are we still? Do you think so? Do you think so? Yeah. After what we saw lately, even we saw Mason Mount actually doing quite well playing. So why can't he be the fourth option? We have squad depth per se when it comes to the midfield right now.
It's just not trustworthy, is he? Injury wise, he's played 20 games in 3 years or whatever. I mean, it's just a joke. He just isn't trustworthy. The trouble is, you're never going to be able to sell Mason Mount. So you've got to get somebody in who we can trust and can hold in the 6. It's as simple as that for me. I don't think Bruno's going to play all games this year. He won't do it. I think Carrick is going to rest him. I would imagine he's already been told.
I reckon he will play all games, but I think we will see a decline from Bruno this season.
100%.
I think he played that out of his skin in the second half of the season. Then, yeah.
Yeah, he did. But I would imagine he's already been told you are not going to play 7,000 minutes for Manchester United this season. It is going to be X, Y, and Z. You won't play Carabao Cup. You won't play early rounds of the FA Cup. You know, there are games where you won't play in Europe. There are games where you won't play in the Premier League. They won't be the first 6 matches because you need to get your points when in the first 6 games of the season. But, you know, the return fixture at Old Trafford against Hull, maybe, he won't play, things of that nature. So, so for me, it's always been get that proper number 6, get him sorted, get him done, and then make your decision on the periphery, because you can't change everything overnight. You can't change everything in one season. So we know that we've got to replace Luke Shaw. We know that it's going to cost to replace Luke Shaw. And we know it's going to cost 50, 60 million to do it. I think 70 million is too rich. 80 million is too rich. Newcastle will want their pound of flesh, money-wise. I can tell you something for nothing. And he's got, at least, what's he got, 2 years left on his deal?
Yeah, but again, you know, even Newcastle, if any, should know that it's hard to keep a player who want to go to another club. If you look at the Alexander Isak saga, you know, they kept it too long, and they ended up with no options and had to sign Voldemort really late in the window. And you know, same goes for Visa. So none of them you actually could fill Isak's shoe. And look, they paid the price during the season and had a terrible season because of it. So I think Newcastle are aware how wrong it can go if they wait and keep on players that don't want to be there.
So I think Isak was probably not great for everyone in the Premier League, because Newcastle will not be bullied anymore. And I wouldn't. If I was aboard of Newcastle and I got 2 years, I've got to play with 2 years left on his contract, and he wants to go, fair enough. What are you going to give me? What are you offering me? You know, buy yourself out your contract then, fella. Because the clubs have got to start getting smart and stop allowing players to dictate. And I'm absolutely firm in my belief of this. And it doesn't matter which club it is, whether it's us, Newcastle, you've got to stop.
Yeah, but you know, that's the modern day footballer. You know, I agree. I'm conservative, like used to, old-fashioned when it comes to this. I think the manager should have the last say when it comes to every footballing decision for his team. But that's not how any footballing organization is set up today. Everybody has a footballing structure, a CEO, a director of football, a head coach, and players who actually run the shop, because the money in the sport has become so much now that they can't let one man decide. And for me, you know, I think it's a shambles. I think, you know, if any player came into my office and I was the manager and saying, I want to leave, I want to go to Newcastle, I said, fuck off, get out of my office, meet on training, next morning you have a contract, honor your contract, and shut the fuck up. That's what I would say. Sorry for the language, guys.
No, that's exactly what I would say. So anyway, I don't think we get Lewis Hall till late on in the window. If we go and pursue him, I don't think that happens. But I do think we will get that third midfielder. Who that may well be, I don't know. It's all gone quite quiet again, which is quite good for us. There's a lot happening. It's not the 31st of July yet. Things could be happening between now and the 1st of August. Who knows?
A lot, yeah. We know a lot of things will happen the last couple of weeks of the window. By the way, we have a super chat. We have 2 super chats and a gifted coins. So let's run through the donations. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Blank, for coming in and saying swap Mount plus Rashford for Lewis Hall. A good deal for Newcastle United.
Yes.
Actually, not a bad deal. Not a bad deal. I would do it.
Yeah. I don't. Well, it won't stack up financially at all. So you won't be able to get a good swap on
Rashford 35, Mount 30. So 65 millions.
You're not getting 30 per Mount. It's too injury prone. You'd be lucky if you got 20 million for him at the minute. He has to have, to get any kind of value in Mount, you've got to look at 2 seasons now, at least. He's just got zero value in his legs. Zero value. So, and I don't think Mount would I don't think Newcastle would want Mount. The problem with Mount is, and the reason why United aren't exploring any kind of deal for him, is that there's no deal to be had. It just isn't a deal to be had for him unless you are so desperate and would take him and trust that you can keep him fit. But there just is no deal to be had. So, and I actually think Rashford will come on and he'll get us 8 to 10 goals next season. So keeping Rashford for me is not too much of an issue. I think he'll come as a bit part player. I know he's a bit part player.
Yeah, but you want that sulking back in your team again, you know, the unhappy prima donna kind of, I'm better than everybody else. I'm not willing to work as hard as everybody else. And if you challenge me, I will go sulk. You know, I don't want that. It's just fucking childish approach, you know. I don't think he has matured a bit.
He might have grown up at Barcelona. I know it was PR.
Well, are you willing to risk it, you know, to bring that, possibly bring that type of attitude back into the locker room now that we finally got rid of all the Garnachos and Sanchos and, you know, all the bad influence?
Well, we got to pay him anyway. You're going to have to pay him. Even if he goes on loan, we've got to pay some kind of money towards him, 70%, 80% of his salary. And if we can't sell him for the money that they want, you've got to keep him anyway and you've got to pay him. So, you know, a couple of years ago, I just shoved him in the, like I said to you, I'd have made him captain and shoved him in front of the media. Answer the questions in front of the media, pal. Well, that's what I would have done with him. And I would have, you know, I'd have made an example of him that way.
Yeah.
They get protected way too much players. But I think ultimately, I think you might see a different Rashford, a more focused Rashford. I think if he comes back, because he's got no other options, I think he's got no option but to turn up. You know, he's got very, very little options. And it's good for the club. It's good to be able to take Bruno out of the equation for a game or 2 games. It's good to be able to take maybe Cunha out for a couple of games to rest him. It's good to be able to take Mbuemo out for a couple of games, rest him. Same with Ahmad. I'm linked with you. I'm not sure Sesko is going to start the first quarter of the season. He may well, you know, come on.
I think Cunha is the first choice right now.
He probably will be.
Yeah.
So and it's good to bring on Cunha. It's good to bring on. If you're in a tight game, you're away at Anfield and it's 0-0 and you're deep into the 64th minute, then you look across the bench. Last year we were bringing on who? Manuel Ugarte, Mason Mount. This year we're bringing on
the depth. The depth is so much better.
This year you're bringing on Ahmad or Mbuemo, Cunha or Sesko, Tielemans, maybe Santos, maybe Mainu, maybe. You know, you're bringing on good quality players. So as much as it's not ideal to have Rashford back, and it isn't, and I get that. I think a more mature Rashford adds. So I think Tielemans maybe gives us 4 goals, 5 goals perhaps this season, but that's still 3 or 4 less than what we were getting out of Casemiro.
Yeah, but I expect Cunha, Mount and Sesko to add 5 more goals each. So I think that's 15 more goals.
And I think if you add another 8 to 10, you could be on 25, maybe even 30 more goals. And
even more goals from Ahmad. By the way, Stu, we have more super chats. You just gotta go through it and honor the guys who paid the hard-earned money to support the channel. So thank you, Tom Porter, coming in with 10 jewels and a gold. That's a gold coin.
It's a gold coin.
Yes,
I want a gold chain, not a gold coin. I want a gold chain.
Yes.
A gold chain around us. That'd be hilarious. Goldie-looking chain. That'd be funny as. I don't wear a chain.
Silver. We have Ramos coming in with 250 jewels. A laughing disco. Big up Ramos. CG Ramos.
Ball behind us. Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, talking CG Ramos, he was just saying, Stu, I might like. I owe you for the 250 gems. I owe you the green ones. The green glasses.
I have my blinking glasses.
Oh, you got them ready, have you? Lovely.
I have them
Stu,
ready.
I
The
might
good
sound like
years.
a hopeless optimist here. I'm starting to trust hope that Carrick is bringing Rashford back because he knows he can get the best out of him. I'm willing to trust Carrick here. Do you know what, guys? I've been looking in my letterbox for a pair of those. Empty.
Are
Empty.
you hypnotized?
Well,
Look
no,
directly into my eyes.
Greens on. I've got the greens on. You see, they are absolutely brilliant. They are absolutely brilliant. And I think we should play a jingle for everybody.
Well, after we read this one from Blank, and then we will play a quick jingle for you guys. Coming in and saying, I agree 100%, saying I have zero tolerance for divas, Rashford and mediocre Mount. Yes, and I think you all know where I'm at when it comes to this. You know, I don't tolerate nonsense. So for me, 100% agree. And because of the super chats, the gems, and all the donations, thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you.
I want to give you 3 deadlifts from the lift. 1, 2, 3.
What's he lifting now, Jamie? It only looked about 20 kilo each side. Yeah, Jamie will know.
So,
was it 50 kilo each side, Jamie? That by looks of it.
Yeah, it was 15 pounds.
He'll know.
Yeah, so back in, he just had back surgery.
You know, on with it. Oh, Jamie about powerlifting. No messing. He would.
Let's look at it again.
Yes.
You can analyze his technique.
Exactly, Jamie. How much is it, do you think, pal? What's his technique like?
I think it's okay.
It looked all right. He looked. Jamie will tell us because Jamie's in the gym regular.
Jamie coming in and saying that I can lift more than that. Okay, yeah.
Easy.
The disco glasses, the disco glasses
They are very good. Yes, they are very good. So video Spurs looks to be happening.
Who?
Yala Mamin was saying. Did I see Yala say Savinho to Spurs?
Oh, okay.
There you go. Yeah.
Wow. Give me 2 seconds. I will see if I find the source.
Yeah. So Yala Mamin is saying Savinho to Spurs. Where did Savinho? Well, I thought Savinho. Where was Savinho going to? We're talking Man City, aren't we? Man City, Savinho. Or have I got that wrong?
Sloading. Major Joe Linton informed Newcastle he wished to leave the club and move to Saudi. Okay.
Oh, well, that doesn't surprise me. Joe Linton.
Yeah, everybody's jumping ship now at Newcastle. I can't find anything. Nothing on Savinho, but
no. Okay.
Coventry City, Newcastle. Well, Yalman mean he doesn't come with the BS, so it's probably right. But I couldn't find and confirm the source. So big up, Yala. Thank you for sharing. Ursula Fargo says Delicto looked strong. Yeah,
he did look strong. Yeah, he looked trim. But then he hasn't been able to work out. So, with his back, he's probably done that. Gents, there's a massive 204 watching, or there was until I started speaking. That is 193, but that's still great numbers for us. Please get your likes in. I don't know how many's on YouTube, Jarvis, and Twitter. I don't know what the split is. But if you are on...
the split, we have 125 people watching on YouTube at the moment. So good numbers. Thank you, guys. Everybody of you tuning in. Let's give you some more updates, because there were a update on Tchouaméni today from Ben Jacobs, and the Tchouaméni saga is getting better and better. So this came out on Tchouaméni. Let's move through it. Go through it. Move that comment. There we go. Saying Ben Jacobs saying on the Tchouaméni saga, in theory, if the door opens even a tiny bit and the price was right, Manchester United would move. Okay, this is a typical Ben Jacobs report, saying in theory Tchouaméni is the leading target. So in practice, We can't say that they're working on it because we have to respect the fact that there's a verbal terms on a new deal, and at any moment the door could shift if Real Madrid choose to announce it. So what I find interesting is saying it's a verbal agreement,
Contracts, yeah,
but there's
verbal
nothing in written. So it means he could still get out of it if he chooses to part ways with Real Madrid because they are bringing in Rodri, because they are playing, they will be competing for the same position in the team, the number 6 position, and maybe Tchouaméni don't want to compete with the fresh world champion, the love heart of Spain, Rodri, coming home to the Madristas, and it will be tough for Tchouaméni. He will sit on the bench a lot of games. So, if I was Tchouaméni, I wouldn't think twice. I would just call Man United and say, okay, I'm ready, guys. Let's do it.
I'm with you on that, Joe, because I don't think Rodri goes to Real Madrid to sit on the bench.
No. He's
not. City to go to Madrid to sit on the bench. And he is the darling of Spain. He's European champion, he's world champion, he's Ballon d'Or. He's won it all. So I agree. I don't think he goes. So it's a safe, in my opinion, that's a safe tweet by Mr. Jacobs there. It's as safe as he can get it. And you're right, a verbal contract is nothing till it's signed. A contract is nothing till it's signed anyway. Although verbal contracts are binding, we all know that. If you verbally agree something, it is binding. But
I think if it went to court
in football,
it will be easier for him to get out of it. Let's say if it's just a verbal contract. Yeah,
in footballing terms, no, you need to absolutely sign that piece of paper or that contract that does that. So I would imagine Tchouaméni is away anyway. He's away on holiday at the moment.
Quick reply to Yala. Just want to say we're talking about the Savinho thing. It's a Brazilian source, but Spurs are also linked with Marmoush, Kunde, and Gakpo. So no mentioning of Rashford at all. Okay. Thank you, Yala, for the update on Savinho. Please continue, Stu. Sorry for interrupting.
No, I was saying, I was saying, Tchouaméni is away on holiday anyway, isn't he? So he's probably weighing up his options. If you think about it, Belgium went out.
Aren't they reporting back on the 1st?
Belgium
went tomorrow,
quarters, didn't they? And they've just come back today. The 2 Belgian lads, so Tielemans and Lamans are coming today.
When was the World Cup final?
It's finished about 2 weeks ago. So I think
the 12th.
Yeah, so he's probably still got about a week, I would say.
Okay, so he's maybe back on Monday.
Yeah, look, if his agents, if he's interested in coming to United, then his agent's already talking to Manchester United, I would say. That's for me, that's how I would look at it. But I agree with you. I think if Rodri goes, and they are pushing now to do it, then fair play to him. Brentford have pulled the rug under everybody and got Sangare. They're paying 42 million quid for him. The deal's agreed. So that's it. That's done.
Yeah.
That area is finished. Our midfield options, Jarvis, are decreasing by the day. And so that leaves us the 2 options now, really, doesn't it? The 2 options, which are, according to Sky, that's
I say Tchouaméni, Scott, and Sander Berge. And you also have, the Enmentia thing, but it's gone quiet.
I'm not sure about Scott, I don't think Scott, personally, I don't think we would be in for Scott, but I do agree with you. But they're saying on Sky Sports, not that it means anything, that Brentford have done the deal. They've agreed a price with, is it Lons? Yes. Yeah.
I'm just checking. Someone's saying Romano Bomba, but please, guys, don't do it. Yeah. If no, there's no Romano Bomba. Don't bullshit me, please.
Hall Bomba.
Lewis Hall Bomba.
Is there a Hall Bomba?
I can't find it.
Jamie, is there a Hall Bomba?
I'm on Fabrizio's profile as we speak. There's nothing here. There's nothing here, unless he said so in an interview.
So Brentford have got.
I'm on his X account now.
Yeah, Jarvis. Brentford have got Sangari for 41 million quid.
Carlos SB.
He's
Yeah,
lying.
there's nothing on Lewis Hall here, so
people are
there's
saying
no
he's
bomber.
lying. But
So
yeah,
hold
people
your
say-
horses, guys. Don't lie.
No.
Guys,
So
guys,
they-
time him out. One of the admins, give him 5 minutes time out, because you're not allowed to come with bullshit in my chat.
No. So
I know
you
the
go. So
admins will take care of it. You're allowed.
Yeah, great piece of business for Brentford. But going back to Tchouaméni, I'm with you 100%. It's either Camavinga or Tchouaméni, isn't it? That's gonna have to go. One of them has got to go, and I would imagine Tchouaméni will be the one that'll depart.
Yeah. Thank you, admins. Thank you for timing him. Tom Porter, big up. Thanks to the moderators.
Thank you. But fair play to Brentford, Jarvis. And that's what you call doing business. That's exactly what you. And the thing is with Brentford, they'll pay 41 and sell him for 100
or more. With the current inflation and what will happen next season, if Sangari has a good season now for Brentford, and I think he will improve them strongly. Yeah.
You've got to admit, and I thought Keith Andrews was manager of the season last year, by the way. When Brentford appointed Keith Andrews, I think me and you both said, that's a problem. Set piece coach, by the way, defensive coach, and he had a stellar season. Manager of the season for me. He was. That's a great piece of business.
By the way, guys, in this community, I'm not used to, because I mostly trust people when they put their word in, and we have never been a community with stuff like this. So these guys behave and be respectful. We are adults, and this is what we're trying to do. It's not like a regular YouTube channel. This is a place for adults. We have Cass in the building, so let's bring in Cass.
It's a place for adults. Fucking hell, I'm the biggest child on it. Hey, Cass, you all right, dude?
Big up.
Oh, there you, dude. Can't hear you.
Oh, muted.
Said, are you giving someone a telling off?
Yes. They are spamming the chat with fake rumors. Big bomba. Look at Romano. Whole bomba. Blah blah blah. So you know how it is.
What you should have done.
That's what I do. Ban them for 24
they already
hours.
did.
Yeah, they've done. They're gone. Yeah, they're out. Yeah, they're finished.
Yeah, I'm having an issue with my channel at the moment because of Google AdSense.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
I had to change over. Because it was set as an organization, and that got dissolved ages ago, before I was even around. And then I had to switch over to individuals. So I'm just waiting for verification. So it's just so annoying. Ugh. And you know what? Not much Man United news, anyways. But it's not.
It can take up to 3 weeks.
I hope not. That's in some cases, but I'm thinking surely not. Everything's quite
in the middle of the last 3 weeks of the transfer window. Oh my god. Yeah.
Imagine that. Yeah, typical.
Well, you can always come on our channel if you like, so you always have an open invite. By the way, 75 likes, guys, so if you haven't, please do us a favor, smash the like. 249 people watching at the moment, so yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Tune in. You're getting a lot of love in the chat, Cass. People are happy to see you.
They are.
Yeah. These
makes a change.
Yeah. So the main topic of the show was Lewis Hall, and you've probably seen all the updates on Lewis Hall and what happened now with Eddie Howe and all of this. So what's your take on the current?
I read up. Well, see, again, you only can read up stuff, I suppose. It's never a guarantee. It's obviously not. But I think this window, because we've got nothing left, you have to observe and make up your own mind and stories so you can make yourself feel better. I think they're ready to pull the plug, Newcastle. I think if we're going to go with a new manager, there's going to be a new project. I'm going to imagine that a manager like that wouldn't want to let Lewis Hall go. But I think if Lewis Hall says that he really wants to leave, I think he'll get the wish. Also, I've done some digging into finances. of the likes of Newcastle. I'm going to send it to you right now. Just one little part.
Okay.
They are effed, to say the least, at the moment, and we're going
Really?
over a span of 5 years, right? So since they've had their takeover and the rest of it, I sent you a picture.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
This is very much up to date. They are it's bad. So this is why Eddie Howe was stressed, and this is why Newcastle were open to selling players.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So what are we looking at? Minus 50 million pounds?
So in the green, meaning that's what they've profited so far this window. You'll be going over the span of the last 5 years.
Mm.
And this is including up-to-date sales of Tonali and the rest of it. They are so much in the red, it's unreal.
Ooh.
So when there was a report earlier, I think about in June, can't remember, there was someone quite credible as well that was talking about business saying Newcastle are forced to sell. And don't get me wrong, they could leave the window like that and be fine. But the future of Newcastle is not fine because they might not hit Europe to get the finances they want anyways, right? And they've got more players to buy at the moment to fill the squad. Otherwise, you've got pretty much the same squad. You replaced a couple players. You might be fine for one season. So that's why after Bruno Guimaraes, they will be on pretty much the profiting of about, I'm going to guess, 125 million. But then they're going to have to sign his replacement as well. So it's like you're in the green, but by how much? How much can you go for by loss? So that's why I reckon they're open to more sales. And that's why they're looking at more bargains like their last two players, which were Bamba and Traore. They're more bargains. I think they're going to go. I personally think Newcastle are going to start going down the route of, or looking to, of Brentford and Brighton and the rest of it, because that's the way to make money. They know they can't compete on the larger scale. That's just my observation.
Wow, I didn't know this, and and that make everything. How can they refuse selling Lewis Hall then?
That's my question. I think it's a Newcastle decision. I think if he wants to leave, I think they're gonna have to pull the plug on the project, get this new guy in, and say, "Well, we need players that want to be here." If he wants to be deemed successful.
I think the thing that could turn it in their favour is that PIF can fund it. They can put money in. You can put 100 million in if you wish. That's what they can do. They can either do it through the consortium or put it through their current ownership model, which is what the fans don't like, by the way. They don't like the ownership model. A lot of Newcastle fans, if you ask them, say PIF have done fuck all because they haven't put the money in they expected them to do it. Now, whether or not PIF are scared and Newcastle are scared of what's happened with City or what's supposedly happening with City, I don't know. I really don't know. But there's nothing stopping the PIF putting an amount of money in, just like the Lewis family injected, what was it, 100 or 200 million at Tottenham. You can do it. You are able to do it. Ineos injected 250 million, wasn't it, last season? You can do it. I know that was part of his takeover, but you are able to do it. So I do agree, as I said at the beginning of the show, I do see potentially if Lewis Hall comes in, it's a last-minute deal at the end of the season. But bearing in mind, the key to all of this, the manager they're getting in is from Saudi. It's a Saudi-backed manager, and he will come with Saudi-backed money, I would suggest. How it works, I don't know. It's interesting, that, Cass, what you dug up there, because we couldn't work out the 771. Was it 771 million? And you're right, with 200 and... Well, I can't remember what Isak went for now. It was 140 or 120.
Yeah. Even then, but remember, they still spent what they still spent as much as they did spend. This is what
they spent on Voldemort, didn't they? Yeah, big money on him, and so really interesting. I think you're right. I don't think Guimaraes goes for any more than 70. I agree. So I think you got 100.
They said 75 today was the report.
So
I read. Yeah. They said north. I think Ben Jacobs said north of 75 million.
I think it will reach 80 by add-ons.
Probably.
Yeah.
But if you are Newcastle, I don't see why they shouldn't just go sell Hall. If you're in for something now in the long run where you have to reset the project, reset the direction, I think left back, for what I've seen of this guy, for what I know of this guy, And you watch him at Salzburg and what he's kind of done, I suppose, if you dig up the research of Al Ali and stuff like that. He likes to target, man. He likes fullbacks that get up the pitch, very athletic ones. And I think if you're going to go get a fullback, luckily there's not been no expensive fullback, so there's not really a barometer. Though the only one you can kind of go off of is actually Kirkes, who went for 40 million. And if you add on British tax and the rest of it, and the fact that they've already made sales, etc., I think you'd argue right now that Newcastle not only would need a left back, but they would also need a right back. So because Livramento is always injured, and I don't think they've got a direct replacement either for Trippier. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with their fullback situation. Why are they not looking at fullbacks? Who else have they got lined up?
They had that young kid, didn't they? And it wasn't Livramento, but they had another young kid. And I can't.
Lewis Miley, but he plays central midfield.
Yeah, but he did start off. He did do a couple of.
He looks quite good left back.
Yeah,
he's quite good.
Who signed a new deal the other day? The winger.
Harvey Barnes.
Yeah,
Harvey Barnes. Yeah, he signed a new deal for Newcastle, so he's staying. But I don't know if you saw the report. Someone I just scrolled through Twitter. I can't remember who said it, but also Joe Linton wants out now. He wants to go to Saudi, according to someone.
That come out, but that's yet to even materialize. So it's like, again, if they're going to pull the damn plug and get your signings in, you are doing one game a week anyways. I think it's a good time if you want to do it now.
I mean,
by the way, Noureddin, I sent you the link. Check your WhatsApp.
My
only thing with Lewis Hall and Man United right now is just because, well, I got some small information anyways about Lewis Hall. I just don't know whether I really want to believe it, but he's got everything right so far. And we're talking about a stretch. But I like to keep things hush. I don't like putting out there. That's why I've been kind of relaxed. My only thing is Man United putting up money. Like, again, from what I don't want to do it out in case someone says, "Oh, he said this on YouTube," so and puts it online, and then I look like an absolute prat. But you saw it, Jarvis, I think, in the group chat. And I'm just thinking again, just United are cheapskates right now. You know, they're going to want 65 million pounds probably for this guy, maybe 70. And why are they going to budge from a valuation point? Probably not.
Yeah, they won't.
They said he's not for sale, but not for sale doesn't mean he ain't got a price. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah. Everybody's for sale. You know, it's just nothing like it's not for sale. It's just how much money are we talking about? Maybe besides Haaland, I don't know. Well, big up Noureddin, big up. I don't know if you saw, we are talking about Lewis Hall, and Cass presented the finances of Newcastle, and if you look at these charts, you see they are in depth, so they need to do something, and probably need to sell both Bruno G and Lewis Hall and all of them. So, how do you assess the Lewis Hall situation?
I mean, they had a whole structural replacement towards the end of last season. They employed new CEOs, everybody's new, and the guy was like, "We need to balance the books."
And that's why Eddie Howe fucked off.
I think who own them are going to sell. I think they're going to sell them. So I really think that what they thought they could be and what they are is totally different. So I think they're going to be sold. I do rate Eddie Howe. I really like him. I like the intensity, aggression, front foot, where his teams play. Even though he was slightly defensive sometimes in Europe, I hope he assesses that, because when he was at Bournemouth, he was too attacking, and he went around and learned and developed. So yeah, I mean, he knew everyone was going to leave. He just waited for them to get the coach in, so then he could leave. But I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised that everybody's heading out and they need to balance the books at Newcastle. Well, the Saudis want to balance the books.
I think they want to make a profit now, because the whole thing of like Live Golf and the rest of it, the plugs are getting pulled, mate. A lot of the stuff in Saudi Arabia, the transfers, plugs are getting pulled because they know you can't just, the whole project of come to Saudi, I think that's over now. They've done what they've tried. Boxing, they're pulling the plug. All of it, they're pulling plugs. And I think Newcastle are now going to be, people are going to think, oh, got the richest club in the world, blah, 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 all this kind of stuff. Richest country, I mean, rich. No, I think they're there just to make some money. I think they'll always aim for trophies and do things that are well, but I can see them becoming, I mentioned these already, they're going to become another Brighton or another Brentford.
Yeah, in some ways, yeah.
And that's why they're shopping right now, currently, in France and Bundesliga for these talents instead, because they know they'll probably end up going for 60, 70, 80 millions. And then probably build from there.
Yeah. In terms of Lewis Hall, I don't know. I think it might be up to the player. I don't know if things change. One of the reasons they said he wanted to leave because he fell out with Eddie Howe. And he kind of felt Eddie Howe sabotaged his England call-up. Because I went on a couple of Newcastle fan channel, listened to what they were saying and everything. So there has been a bit of a rift. Now they got a new guy in, obviously. And is it that this new guy would want a whole new, now Joe Linton's leaving, there's a whole fire sale, isn't it? So just, we know that Lewis Hall is from there, innit? That's why he went there. That's his boyhood club. So would things change now, or does he just want to move on and read the room? That all the quality is actually leaving.
Well, allegedly, he's had enough of the project. He doesn't believe in it.
Yeah. So that will be up to him. But mark my words, they're going to be asking for the moon if United go in for him.
Yeah, I think we can. I think price factoring is a little bit easy now. I think the Bruno Gomes deal would price what a fullback's going to then therefore cost. Tonali was 100. It was prime age, great. Anthony Gordon a little bit less, and he was a winger. To be fair, he got that 80 million move, was it, or 75 million, something like that. And then obviously Bruno Gomes is going to be, it's going to be similar. So I'm going to guess. I reckon they're going to ask for, and I think if I remember, Andy Mitten said that 65. And when Andy Mitten says a price, I usually add 5 or 10 million more on. So I think he's going to be between. I think they're going to ask for 70. And I don't think they're going to budge.
Do you actually think Man United would pay 70 for Lewis Hall? I think that's a stretch. I think that's beyond our budget at the moment.
I don't know. I think United are probably going to be looking, because this is my issue with Ineos at the moment, is valuations, right? And their valuations that we don't want to overpay. That's okay, but I think they probably value Hall at, because he's got 3 years left and he's young, he's English. I reckon they look at him as tops 55. And the thing is, they won't sell for 55. You're going to have to pay at least 65 million to probably scratch or tickle Newcastle's arseholes to think, oh, we might have something here. That's what it's gonna be. And the fact that a fullback, well, actually, we don't know yet, to be fair. A fullback could be our most expensive signing of the summer. It could be quite ridiculous to even think that, but I think you can make maybe a case for someone like Lewis Hall, thinking if you are a marquee signing or the most expensive signing of the summer, I mean, you're probably worth every penny because you've got about 10 years on your side. Remember what we said about Luke Shaw? We got a player here for 10 years until he broke his leg.
We said so, and we did. We did.
Yeah. I think it's just different factors. Trying to get into what Ineos we need. I just want to know who this third central midfielder is, and it's kind of obvious that they're waiting for Tchouameni now, isn't it? And or a Camavinga. It's quite obvious they're waiting at a door before he gets slammed in their face. Anyways, I just don't believe it's going to happen, even if Rodri comes or not.
You don't buy both, then, do you? You don't buy Tchouameni and Lewis Hall, unless you can get Lewis Hall for 55 mil. Which, by the way, worth noting. That Cucurella, the best left back in the Premier League, went for 52 for Real Madrid.
Yeah,
it's worth. I don't know there's English tax. I get it. I do. I get it.
It's probably good for us then.
Yeah,
because remember, Bromers.
He was my number one choice, Stu. Cucurella was my number one choice.
Cucurella
was my number one choice, and I'm absolutely gutted that he would have been one of our left backs now if they did not get him that time. But he was cup tied. Who gives the F about the League Cup? Just the people who run this football club, honestly.
I remember that.
We would have had
him. Lured it. I remember, having, I think it was on Saudi TV, on Mandem Talk about 2 years ago when that happened. And I remember we had a conversation around left back who's taking Cucurella. I said, I am. Just because he's having a shit time doesn't mean he's a crap player. I remember them all slagging me off about that.
Brilliant.
Yeah. He's a brilliant player, yeah. He's a brilliant player.
He's a great fullback. Great fullback. He Yeah, he would have put Messi on his ass in the semi-final of the World Cup. He would never have got that right foot crossing if Cucurella had been there. Never in a million years. Except Jed Spence does a pirouette. There you go. That's the difference. You know, little margins like that. A pirouette, Cucurella puts Messi on his ass, stops the game. So I'd have gone for Cucurella.
I actually don't even think I can't even blame the individual England players on that one, Stu. I blame the whole thing on the coach that told them to sit back and Jed Spence should have been halfway line. Not even there. The whole team should have been pushing up.
No, you're absolutely right. He shouldn't. But it was a
calamity. That opportunity.
It was a calamity after that. An absolute calamity. It really was. But you're right.
Camavinga is an interesting one. I think people need to keep an eye on Camavinga because he's the only one that I think Real Madrid will want to make some money back. I don't know about Tchouaméni. I don't know if only I think if they push him. But as far as everything that I'm hearing from Madrid is that they want him to stay. He wants to stay. Camavinga wants to stay, but he might not have a choice.
You pay less for Camavinga, don't you?
I think you don't even pay 50 million. You pay them 40 million because they want to sell.
You pay less, you pay less for Camavinga for sure. I totally.
Yeah. Well, Luis Hall, I do like him. Obviously, he's got a high ceiling, hasn't he? He's got a ceiling. He's the thing, the energy. We need energetic fullbacks who can go up and down. That, to me, in modern football, they make a huge difference. Huge difference to how you are in possession because the ball out wide to the fullback is always free, isn't it? We play a lot of teams because now football in the last 10 15 become central areas has become like so congested and locked up. Always the fullbacks have the width. So it showed even the youth team when they played with two, going up the pitch, two young fullbacks with energy. So I see the importance. It's a huge importance. I said United needed 6 players to try to sustain next season.
Well, we've got 3 at the moment. Technically
4.
Rashford. You want to count Rashford now? I suppose that is. So maybe like him or not.
I've got this funny feeling. I don't think Rashford is going to stay, but I'm just shocked that he's going to be sitting on the bench on 365. 350.
He's definitely a bench player. But I said the other night though, Nuruddin, and he will get you 8 to 10 on top of your extra you'll get out of Cunha this year, the extra you'll get out of Mbuemo this year. Tielemans will come in with 4 or 5, which he always does. I'm not so sure about Santos. We don't know, do we, about Santos? I don't think he'll add much to it. Mainly might get the odd 2 or 3.
I actually think that Santos is a goal scorer.
He's a fucking good player, isn't he? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, with headering left foot, right foot. But can he be up that part of the pitch? But I really think that the importance, I mean, this Tenen Thompson kid, I think we're putting too much on him. I would expect him to be integrated slowly and to be coming on in games and, especially at Old Trafford, putting him on for the last 15. That type to get used to that if United are winning 3-1 or whatever game. So but I'm not putting massive expectation because it's unfair on a young kid. I only count 2 signings, which is the 2. I'm not counting a reserve goalkeeper, signing 2 reserve goalkeepers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So just one.
Yeah, I was going to say we signed.
I'm counting who are going to be in that squad. So I'm counting Santos and Tielemans. We need the 4 players.
By the way, guys, I just want to share this. You guys mentioned Rashford, and I know it's a super dodgy source, but I find it funny, to break out the Indicalia saying that Marcus Rashford's agent just touched down in London, spotting in exclusive Mayfair and Man United bombshell incoming. So I don't know if we could see him going to one of the London clubs. Maybe we are talking about Spurs.
You know why that don't make no sense? Because he said agents, plural. His agent is his brother.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that would have got spotted. Like if we go off Indy Kyler, apparently Bruno Gomes and Eddie Howe had a phone call. It was emotional. How do you know if it was emotional?
Yeah, I'm going to
like come on, no one's believing this shit. The only time I might actually take him seriously if he says something about Baleba. That's it. I might
No.
just think, you know what, I might take some notice. You know what? It's just a banner account. There's no point even getting wound up by that. You should know what that is.
It's just
And do you know what I mean? And it goes on and on and on. So it's just, it is what it is.
The only club that might take Rashford from the UK is maybe Arsenal. Because I don't think because I don't think they rate Martinelli. They got rid of Trossard.
They're getting Vinny, mate. I'm sorry. We're gonna have to accept it. We're gonna have to accept it later or at some point. They're getting Vinny Jr. They're getting Vinny Jr. I'm sorry, man, but I'm coming to an acceptance point to think they're actually going to get a world-class player. I think it's happening.
It's a killer though financially, isn't it? I mean, fuck me.
I mean, for Arsenal, I mean, quite a profitable club. It's about time they probably spend a little money on someone, but
they don't spend a huge amount. You are right. I mean, Liverpool were able to spend half a bill, weren't they, last year? Because and Arsenal probably accrued a shitload of money. But I think you're talking for that deal alone over the period of the contract you got to give him.
200 million.
Yeah, well, that'd be his contract plus the 140, 150, 160 they'd want for him.
I don't think they'd pay that. I'm going to say exactly why. Because there's only one club in the world that is actually in for him and that can probably afford what he wants. At the moment, that's interested, as far as we know, of course.
PSG.
But they're not going to go for him. And now it's just if anyone's got the minerals or the leverage, it's probably Arsenal, to be fair. Otherwise, you'd risk losing him on the free.
Yeah, PSG don't need him, do they? They got Kvaratskhelia. Do they?
Yeah.
I mean, but what, if you've got Barkley, okay, at 145, then Vinny's way north of that. So,
I was just going to say, when you deep it, in the current market with the prices, why would any club pay for Rashford? They know that we are desperate to get rid, and you just sit on the fence. You wait until the last week of the transfer deadline, and then you come in with a loan option, because Man United will cave, and we will just be happy to get these wages off our books. So paying for Rashford, I think no club will be that stupid at the current moment. I wouldn't. If I was the director of football, I wouldn't spend a dime. That's just how I see it. I can't understand why anyone would pay for him.
I want to know why Real Madrid have delayed the Tchouaméni contract. Now that's interesting. That's why I got told Camavinga is the one that we've been kind of fishing, and then the whole Tchouaméni, because the Rodri stuff came up, that's kind of sparked conversation once again from Tchouaméni side of things or whatever, and that's come from like Ramon Alvarez, who's been very credible for Madrid this summer, and even he was saying that could really be a factor. And I think that's the only DM Man United are willing to put good money up for. Just depends how much Madrid are going to ask for at that point. Apparently, wages are not an issue, but my issue is the choice of wording. Like when it comes to Ben Jacob, he just fishes that's the same story. Could, should, would, maybe, there could be. Keep an eye on. And I don't know, just keep making up words that are not really realistic towards it. But it's just again, are United actually biding their time for this one?
The trouble with Tchouaméni is he's a Mourinho type player. He's brilliant for what Mourinho wants, but it's clear Mourinho wants Rodri. I mean, that is clear as day. So maybe we are looking to see if the Ben Jacobs
is it Stu?
Yeah, 100%.
I see more. It's what's the name? The president.
Perez.
I think it's Perez.
He calls the tune, doesn't he, Perez?
Yeah,
he's the one that's on it. But yeah, it's clear that Madrid won't.
Yeah, there we go. Someone will have to leave Real Madrid for Rodri to join.
Yeah,
that's yeah. Someone has to leave, and if you can't get Camavinga to leave, then it's like, well, next one up is Tchouaméni. The issue is with, I think that is identified at Madrid, is they have no controllers. Like Tchouaméni, Valverde, Bellingham is not a midfield that is going to topple Barcelona's midfield. Whether you like it or not, it's not. It's too stiff. You put Rodri with a Valverde and a Bellingham who's got legs beside him, and there's enough technical security in there because of Rodri and the way he plays forward, and his positioning would actually help the fullbacks out quite a lot as well to get a little bit further up to press. I think that's in their thinking, because let's be real. When you've got Tchouaméni, people say he's not balanced with the likes of mine. I'm like, what? I don't think Tchouaméni is as agile as probably the next DM or footballer. But he's agile enough. And Tchouaméni's not someone that needs legs around him. He is the legs. But you put technical players around him, and at the moment, when I'm looking at Kobbie Mainoo's, Tielemans, I'm thinking, you've got a perfect partnership there. There's nothing wrong with that at all. It makes sense. And I think that's what's in Man United's thinking. That's why, you know, when it comes to these leading targets as well, it's like United, are you well out of your depth? Are you on hope? What's the encouragement here? Because let's be real, if there was another midfielder, this is my, again, I think I put my observation out to you two last week or earlier this week, and I'll put it out to Nuruddin. Manu Kone, Sanderberg, even the likes of Tyler Adams, all these players that we linked with, they'd have been wrapped up by now. They have no other suitors. They're quite cheap relative deals to do. They're not on big wages either. That would have been done last week. Don't need a bidding war, nothing. Right? It's there. Right? The only three players that I think that are complicated, and why would we be waiting for 2.5 going on 3 weeks, is because there's only three players that you can actually think of: Camavinga, Tchouaméni, and Baleba. That's the only complicated deals out of all the players we have been linked with so far in midfield. So again,
I mean, listen, I actually don't know. I do think the club is broke, even though we make a lot of profit, and even though these new rules, I've been reading about them today. It's supposed to favour the top 6 teams. They're supposed to favour, the new rules are supposed to favour teams with high income, revenue, and Manchester United can. There is money to buy players, because we're looking at even 100 million guaranteed or 80 million guaranteed at least. I think altogether, Adidas money goes up. We're in the Champions League.
Yeah.
Guaranteed about 100 million. Whatever round you get to, that's adding another bonus. You know what I mean? You get to the knockouts. So I don't know why, but I think you are right, Kaz, that Sanderberg will be easily done.
Kone, all these.
Kone, yeah. I mean, Kone, I am a bit worried about, because the injuries, the types of injuries he's getting is a bit. If any top professional athletes, if they're getting muscle fatigue, there's something wrong with their biomechanics. There's something not right. And he gets muscle fatigues. He pulls hamstrings. There's a lot of muscular type of pulls and injury. And he's somebody who needs to get about. He's quite quick in it. He gets around the football pitch. He's also coming from what I believe is the walking league. It's over 50s league. It's more tactical and technical than it is. And coming into a league that is very robust, like in the way the most physically demanding league, I think that is a massive risk for me. I'm even thinking that of Tchouaméni, but I'm thinking Tchouaméni is that he's played under big pressure. Do you know what I mean? It's not going to matter if he's trending on X or whatever. Do you know what I mean? He's not gonna get because he's played for Real Madrid. So that's the only thing. But to me, Sanderberg is the clearest guy in this day. Right now, where we are, Sanderberg is the most obvious one that makes sense to go and get.
Can't say that.
Ramo agrees.
You're gonna get told that you're a Rants follower or some shit.
No, I mean we were talking about Sanderberg. I was saying no to Sanderberg a couple of years ago. Me and Jarvis were having a debate, because I was like, I've seen that he's been a bit of injuries, because I believe, and it's the only club that's getting sued by a former player who played for them. We've got one of the worst injury and rehab departments. And the reason why I know we have, because they don't spend any money on it. And you've got Jim coming out saying, what are those lot doing here? Like, oh, that's physios, masseurs, and the part of the injury and rehab. Well, all I do is stretch before I go run the marathon. That is a direct quote. I'm not. That's not parody. That's not satire. That's what he said. So at the end of the day, that's why I'm always cautious about it. I mean, see, even with Tielemans, he missed 23 games last season. Great player, great passer of the ball. Would I be confident if we signed a really quick centre back who's experienced? If we got 2 fullbacks, would I be like, right, you know what, maybe we can go for the third midfielder in January? Maybe. Because those people can help, can dictate, and can cover up for the lack of pace and energy. But it's going to be interesting whatever happens next season. And also then, what are they expecting? Are we expecting I'm always on injury watch. Are we expecting a season mediocre in terms of quality for the past 2 years in the Premier League? Or are we expecting a Premier League where teams are coming out and the quality then goes up? Because we remember last season, from 8th till 2nd, how many points? There weren't that many points difference. There was like 4 points in it. Sometimes it was 3 points in it. You won 2 games, you jumped to 3rd or 4th. So what kind of Premier League do we have in store? I think Chelsea are going to be, from everything that I know about Alonso.
I think a lot of teams are going to suffer next year. All these other teams, I think Bournemouth take a hit. Now they've got no Krupi for a while as well, no matter how you want to look at it. And they got Europa. I think Brighton's going to take a hit. All these top teams that you'd class as better teams than probably the rest of the league, I think they're all taking hits.
One thing about them, the transfer window's not done. And the reason why they've been up there is because that they've had A1 recruitment. You can't mess with Brentford, Brighton, Bournemouth recruitment over the years have been their recruitment have been absolutely amazing. And as far as Brighton have still got the same. They signed that young kid. I mean, even Fulham signed that guy for 60 million. That Garcia for 60 million.
Fulham's going to be interesting though. I reckon Arblo is one of the first ones to go. I'm going to be honest. I think he's gone. I think he's going to be one of the first 3 managers to get sacked in the season.
Yeah.
I just see it. I can see him trying to bring a certain style to Fulham, bit different, and then before you know it, sack.
Yeah, this was the report that came out from Ben Jacobs. They have a deal agreed with two Real Madrid players, and Cesar Palacios, and set to join for around £8.5 million, and Gonzalez Garcia also agreed close to 35. So yeah, I think he's wrong on the pricing. I think it was 70 million in total.
Yeah, maybe I thought it was 60 million.
Yeah,
but these are 2 young players in it that he gave a chance towards the Real Madrid time in it. So when Jose's coming in, they've all read the room. Jose's coming in, not getting a sniff. They need to go out on low. They need to go. Real Madrid need to make that profit. You know what I mean? They need to go and make that profit instantly.
But he will probably come in and do a revolutionary thing and try to play the Spanish way. And, you know, Spanish people have been quite successful in Premier League, going by Pep and all the Spanish managers. So, you know, I wouldn't underestimate Arbeloa, but I don't know how good he is as a manager.
It depends if they keep the core. I think if they keep the core of their players, like if they don't lose people, then if they lose a couple, then it can be techie, because they're just kids. These are just kids, and they're coming into a shock Premier League where everything is intense. I just go back to that quote where we played Ipswich and Amarim's asking Bruno, "This is some of the favourites for relegation, and they're fighting this hard." That's the bit that's a shock. But the only thing about Aroa, he's actually played in a league, so he can't be shocked. He can't be a novice, can he? He cannot be shocked. He's actually played in a league.
Yeah. Marco Silva didn't go to Benfica? Benfica. Yeah, Benfica. Yeah, I think he left for Benfica. By the way, guys, I just want to do a quick. Bilal sent me this. It's the 4 of us. I don't know which is which, but do you see the resemblance?
No,
that's so funny.
No.
Who am I supposed to look like? Roberto Carlos? Who's that?
It's a hairstyle.
I'm a tad darker. I'm a tad dark.
That's a good picture, though.
It's nice.
Stu, Declan Rice.
I can live with that.
Who am I meant to be? Matty Cash? Is that meant? I don't even know if that's meant to be Matty Cash.
Grealish. Grealish.
Grealish. That's Grealish.
Grealish.
When he was at Villa, yeah, it's Grealish at Villa.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Ruben Neves. I'm not Ruben Neves. No.
Yeah,
that's terrible.
Yeah. I tackle that.
When I was in Brazil, they did think I was Brazilian, and they were talking Portuguese to me.
Portuguese to you.
Yeah. I went to a party in the favela. I went to the right to the top of the favela, and somebody who likes to talk for 7 hours. I didn't speak.
Jesus Christ! And you came out from the favela as well.
Because my friend was like, if they find out, if they hear you speaking English, they're getting kidnapped, my friend.
Oh yes.
I don't believe that. Favela's got strict rules from what I've been told loads of times, and you can't do the say so without shit happening. Otherwise, it's bad name on the bosses there. Because favelas also have their own tourists. They rely on a lot of tourism as well to help the money flow through.
I think definitely maybe things have changed now, but when I was there, it was techie. I only said agua. Water.
It's sketchy.
I met 16-year-olds with them 16s with balaclavas.
Yeah, wouldn't surprise me.
So yeah, it was the type of party. It's the favela that based on what's it called? City of God.
That was a serious film.
Hasifa. I think it's called Hasifa. It's one of the biggest in Rio. I was there.
Yeah, I've heard the beaches of Rio are more dangerous than the favelas of Rio.
No, this was a party. I went to a rave. I'm talking about. I was there like from 2 o'clock till 5 o'clock till the sun came up. So it was the timing as well. It wasn't. You could go around. You can get a tour to the favela in the daytime. Nobody's gonna. There's tourists walking around. I went to a Bali funk rave, like neighborhood rave. 7 hours I didn't speak. I just I was there nodding, enjoying the music, and I got out of there.
Nodding.
Yeah, I just nodded. They were just talking. So many people were talking to me. Big up Felipe, by the way. He watches sometimes. Big up Felipe. He's from Lapa, the central part of Rio. He took me and he said to me, Nuruddin, we're going to go to this party. I was like, I want to go to a neighborhood authentic party. And he was like, you're going to go, you're going to have to just keep your mouth shut. I got offered everything that was on the table. And I just went, agua. No caipirinha. No caipirinha. Agua. But yeah.
Yeah.
Brazil. I would suggest anybody go to Brazil. It's the most craziest, funniest place you'd ever go to. It's a big contradiction, but yeah, it's worth going.
Cool. Timo says, respect, brother, been to Brazil, but avoided the favelas. Okay. Yeah, probably did right. By the way, I just want to have a quick word around the panel. The new Newcastle manager, Matthias Jaisel, what's his name? Jaisel, whatever how you pronounce it. The report says he's heavily influenced by Ralf Rangnick, Thomas Tuchel, and Jurgen Klopp. So you probably see like heavy metal football, high pressing. And you think it will suit Newcastle? And he's been around. He won I think in Austria, Red Bull Salzburg. He won the cup and the league, the Austrian Bundesliga.
You done a madness there.
Yeah. So do you think he will come in and do good, or is it just chaos?
Yeah,
so get the sack
this is
anyway?
what Eddie Howe built on. No, he'll build on what Eddie Howe has had. The core players still know to play from foot, pressing football, aggressive football. He just needs to recruitment to match. To play that
but
football.
He won't.
But look at Newcastle. They signed the coach who plays similar to Eddie Howe.
Yeah.
All action, high intensity. But if they were to get back in the Champions League, they would have to need a bigger squad. And that's where he might fail, because that's what happened to Eddie Howe. Eddie Howe football could have worked when they were in the Champions League.
But they don't need a bigger squad this season. They have 1 game a week. No, Europe.
No, yes, but I'm talking about if he was to get them back in Europe. That's what they was.
Yeah.
Because there, Eddie Howe, for all the years he's been there, he couldn't build a bigger squad. If you're going to play that intensity football, you need rotation. so the players don't get injured.
Mm.
Players don't get burnt out.
Quick super chat from Blank coming in. Thank you. If it isn't playing style that suits Mount, I don't know what it is. What is? So yeah, okay. He's advocating for Newcastle to sign Mason Mount with a high press.
Nobody's going to
swap
sign
deal.
Mount. Nobody. You won't get a swap deal out of that, out of Mount. Not a hope in hell. Why would you?
Yeah.
Who the hell would swap any player for Mason Mount? Can't rely on him.
The biggest problem with Newcastle is that it's the location as well. It's the location. If they were let's say if they were Leeds I think a lot more players would go.
Yeah.
Leeds is an hour away from Manchester, nearly an hour and 50 away from Birmingham, not that far away from London. I think it is the distance to Newcastle.
Yeah, that's it. They're basically Scottish.
Yeah. Why not?
3 hours.
Yeah.
To Manchester, I think 3.5. I think.
It's hell of a track. Yeah, I was up there the other week. It took me
Beautiful drive though.
Yeah, it's a lovely drive.
Beautiful. The hills. Yeah.
I go through Scott's Corner that way. Turn left. Really nice. Really nice.
And by the way, quickly, can someone just explain to me? I saw there was a lot of fuss in between the UEFA and FIFA. What's going on? There were some reports, someone boycotting. Cass,
pick your evil, basically, and that's the way I look at it. Or pick your poison. I mean, as FIFA are as corrupt as UEFA, so it's just one pointing out one, not really any different. But for me, I'm in the zone of UEFA's poison. Infantino has got no right to be sending out some World Cup. It's not his to give. Do you know what I mean? It's called the World Cup, not the Infantino Cup or the Investors Cup or anything along them lines. I'm glad it's getting boycotted. So you can go dilly-dally with Trump, because I guarantee Trump probably put an idea across and he's probably thought, I get a bit of millions out of this. Just as bad as the ones beforehand. So the way I look at things, it was pathetic. The fact that he tried to even give an ultimatum and say you've got a certain amount of days, it's just like, yeah, you're trying to do the bully boy tactic. You fucked up. I don't think you realize how powerful UEFA are, and how all the rest of the FAs from each country or federations, they're all going to join in because they're included in UEFA's corruptness, no matter how much you want to look at it. Yeah, so yeah, him. I think it's because as well, for me, I don't know what Infantino truly or really does, but for me, he's very, he's got that face that irritates me as well. So I just want to punch him in his nose because I just think he's an ugly bastard. On top of that, he looks like he's an evil prick. So there you go. That's just my thoughts.
He's a corporate lawyer. He's Mr. Infantino, a corporate lawyer, very good one by all accounts. And but you can't float the World Cup because it's not a company. So you've got to establish a business to float a business. It's as simple as that, and he would have to do that. However, the idea behind it would be to generate further income for all the FAs. That's the way that he'll sell it, by huge investment through Apple or through whoever. But the problem you've got is regulation. You're regulated. You buy shares in the World Cup or whatever. You're not buying shares in FIFA. You're buying shares in the World Cup, this limited company. And it's regulated. And what you won't be able to do, well, you will be able to do, depending about the SEC, when we won't go down that line. But you will be far more stricter regulations and rules in terms of who you can backhand and who you can't backhand. But we all know that all the biggest companies in the world are backhanding people all over the place. We know it. So it's just another avenue for Infantino and his cronies, whoever they are, to get rich. Because trust me, he's got investors lined up. I can tell you that for nothing, because you don't float an idea publicly if you haven't got the investment details backed up. If you remember the Super League 2 years ago, all the investment was in place. It was all done. It was ready to go. It was just, the money was in escrow, ready to go. But there was this big backlash about it. So UEFA know that they cannot back a sole World Cup and all the the poorer nations in the world know they can't do it as well because they need their slice of that particular cake. Although Infantino will tell you that cake is going to grow, but to what extent does it grow? So you mentioned Live Golf, Cass, split golf, didn't it? I don't like golf, but it split golf in two because the money on offer with Live Golf was way, way more than what it was under the PGA or whatever it was called. So I'm not interested in golf, but you know they're trying to do it in tennis at the minute, trying to do it across all sports. So the biggest sporting event in the world is the World Cup, but I think Adidas suggested they were 13% down on overall sales, and it didn't give them the boost this year that they were expecting. And that's big for Adidas because they're all over it when it comes to sponsoring the World Cup. So
we'll sponsor less then. How about that? I don't want to hear all that shit, when I'm hearing about like America, right? And then, we're going to see if we can host the next one. I'm like, what do you mean host the next one? That's the issue with that when you got investors, because they can choose where they want it to go, right? And you're telling me they made the most money or whatever it was through the World Cup in America, but we made 13% less. I guarantee Adidas exploit the whole world. They probably got sweatshops allegedly all over the gaff as well, making their money. I'm pretty sure 13% and is nothing compared to the inflation of everything they put up in the markets these days for whatever they sell it for. Adidas can hold that one. How about that? Then guess what? When Adidas can't do much without it, then give it to somebody else like Puma or Nike, because I guarantee Nike would love to jump the gun if they could ever again. I guarantee they would, because they are just way behind. So
I think the thing with the 30% drip, that's just on the World Cup side of it. That's just the World Cup side of it. I think the business as a whole has turned itself around over the last 2 years, 3 years, or whatever. Yeah. But ultimately, that's what he wants. He just wants a greater control of the World Cup, and he'll have Donald Trump investing in it and whoever.
And try to control Argentina. There was only one game where they couldn't hide the corruption.
Yeah.
And that was the final.
So now they're going after them, aren't they? Apparently. They're going after them now over the Falcons banner, which I thought was it.
Yeah, whatever. I think now the fact that, probably now because they tried to go through with this whole thing. UEFA are definitely going to be looking into that for sure now, just so they can spite them. Go look at Infantino's accounts, man. There was something, because Messi, MLS, America, yada yada yada. There is something definitely fishy there, mate.
100%. Yeah, 100%. We know the World Cup was awful. It was the worst World Cup.
I was going to say I was enjoying it. I enjoyed the new format, but you know what? I think I had more when I deep it, because you're in the moment. I think I enjoyed the Qatar one a little bit more.
Yeah,
absolutely, man. Qatar was by far the best World Cup I've seen in years. The reason why the Kushner brothers, they're vulture capitalists. So they want a piece of the pie. They've seen that it's the world game. It belongs to the world. As far as I understand, and what I understand, FIFA is a non-profit organization. It gets a tax exemption.
It does.
In Zurich, if I'm not mistaken. Is it Zurich?
They're based in
Switzerland. Yeah,
Switzerland, Zurich. So they're on a tax exemption because they're a non-profit organization. They belong to FIFA belongs to the world in that sense, in the sense that FIFA, all of the different countries, all of the different football association, CONCACAF, the AFCON, the Asian kind of like region, or everybody votes for who the president is. To be fair, on this one, UEFA are corrupt as well, but UEFA's corruption is this compared to FIFA, like, from what we saw. So
UEFA is bad, by the way, Nuruddin.
Yeah.
UEFA is bad.
Yeah, UEFA is bad because we saw what they did with City. They let them get away with it. They basically put a timer, and they said if you pay 10 million,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like they done, and they basically did a Super League, haven't they? Let's be honest. Like, this is the first step to the Super League. They've done it through the back door with this new format of the Champions League. So for me, but the FIFA, he's out of control at this moment in time, and I'm like, well, is there an Epstein tape of Infantino? Because the way he's moving, it's like they've got something on him.
Anytime you get involved with America, especially Trump, you know there's corruption going on.
Yeah.
You could talk about Trump and his involvement with just the biggest corruption in the Middle East right now.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That you can just link them two and put 2 and 2 together, and that's all you got. That's all you've got to do.
Yeah,
So why would you get in bed with that?
Yeah, the world's but the Kushner, one of the Kushners is married. Is the brother-in-law of Trump, and apparently people are saying Trump is incontinent. He wears nappies, and he's not even in control. He's in control.
Oh, I wouldn't surprise
So
me.
Kushner is the one who's in control, the son-in-law, and he's a nasty piece of work. Nasty piece of work. So Infantino, all of that, people need to vote him down. They need to get him out of here. He needs to be taken to court.
They run unopposed.
Somebody needs to bring a lawsuit against him.
Yeah, the trouble is, Nuruddin, they run unopposed all the time. Blatter run unopposed for fucking years.
Yeah, because I've got brown envelopes in it.
Yeah, just run unopposed, and Infantino now will run unopposed until he decides he doesn't want.
Apparently,
he catches him.
I saw somebody talk about Trump actually wants Infantino to be the head of the UN. Because obviously he gave him the Peace Award and all these type of things. Apparently he wants him to be, he really wants him to be. But for me, it's just simple. Like FIFA needs to be raided again. The officer needs to be raided. He needs to be taken out if there was any sort of. But we know these world things. US have always got their hands on it.
Yeah,
because wasn't it the FBI that raided FIFA offices? Wasn't it the FBI?
When Blatter was, that's why Blatter resigned or had to resign, and Infantino came in on a wave of, blah 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 blah.
Wasn't it a similar thing to UEFA as well with Platini?
Platini, and was it Leonard Johansson or whatever his name was, something like that.
Yeah, and he was even involved with the French president Sarkozy when he came to
who basically should have gone to jail for taking money as well. I mean, listen, all of it is corrupt.
Yeah, but it's worth noting.
How much of it is corruption? Can we allow? That's reason that we just. But what they're doing now by trying to sell off FIFA it's the most ludicrous thing ever. It's basically someone like vultures like the Glazers owning parts of FIFA. That's what this is.
Yeah, of course it is. Yeah,
guys, I just want to shoot in and say this is effing depressing. Talking about Infantino and Trump and all of them. Let's go back to Man United. I want to talk a little bit more about Man United and the report that came out today from Ben Jacobs talking about Manu Kone and saying. Nothing, basically. Say the Kone price may be around 45 to 50 million euros, and Roma needs sales, but they've been quite active in the market. They're not in such a desperate position that there's going to be a cut price deal. So I think this just tells us what we know. The Kone deal, we are looking into it, but we're not doing anything. As Kaz said earlier in the show, if we wanted to do anything about this deal, we would have done so already. So again, the update on Manu Kone for me, it's a nothing case.
Anything that Ben Jacobs says, don't believe it. I'd say don't believe nothing. I don't think you can believe anything that comes out of these journalists. Laurie Whitwell, all of them, and they're all right now. They're recycling the targets of the last 2 months and putting it into new words. That's all that is. Every single update, deal sheet. Ben Jacobs, anytime he goes on the United Stand, you get the quotes. It's the same nonsense over and over again. It's the same words. No one knows anything until I see David Ornstein come out with an absolute bomber that we're in talks with somebody for a certain player. At this moment of time, it's so difficult to even get motivated to talk about something because it's nothingness. Ben Jacobs is probably the best at recycling the words into something new to make it look like there's something going on.
But this is the same, but this is from the Mail Sport. I think that it has to be Nate Salt or what's his name, the Daily Mail correspondent. So saying the same thing. United are interested, still remain. They want to sign another midfield. There's nothing. Stu could have written this. I could
write it. The problem you got with journalism, I can speak it because I'm a journalist, so I can tell you exactly how it works, chapter and verse. And 2 things are happening. 10 years ago, you don't get this shit because Twitter didn't carry as much weight 10 years ago as it was today. Social media doesn't carry that weight. There's no TikTok around. YouTube was doing okay, but Goldbridge was just, I don't know, has he been in the business 10 years? Goldbridge, I don't know. He's just chucking stuff out there. But the thing about real journalism, a real journalist won't stick his neck out. He won't say a word until he's corroborated it, because if you don't corroborate it, you lose your source. And if you lose your source, you're fucked. Because a journalist has to have a source, and it's got to be a reliable source that enables you to go public with it. And you can't just, well, you can, because this is what social media does. But if you want to continue your relationship with whoever it will be, whether it's Valentino Rossi at MotoGP, which is the golden ticket, is Manchester United in football, which is the golden ticket. If it's, is it Rory McIlroy at the minute in golf, which is the golden ticket, or whoever, then you have to do right by them. You have to do right by them. Now, the other thing that happens is journalists attach themselves to an intern. What an intern does, they like to splash something, whatever it is they've heard at a coffee table, they've heard walking past an open door, and they want to let journalists know that they're in the know, so that journalists go to them. And that's your biggest problem. And that's where journalists fall over all the time. Everybody, air quotes, says they can be a journalist. Well, you can be. You can pretend to be a journalist. But any journalist worth his salt, and I genuinely mean this, any journalist worth his salt will not go live until he can prove it. And the best recent, I guess, example of it was when Pep Guardiola went 24 hours earlier. What's his name? Holt. You don't hear of him, but he came out and he got it 100% right. He beat Laurie Whitwell, he beat Ormstein, he beat them all because he was 100% with the story. And that's how journalism works. So I pay, and Jarvis knows this, I pay absolute no attention to the nonsense you get on Twitter at all, because you've got to trust people. I work in the superbikes, MotoGP and the superbikes. Right now it's silly season. You know, who's going where, which riders are doing this, which riders are doing that. So, and the motorsport side. And you keep stum until you know. Because the more you put it out there, the more you get wrong, the more people like us will just go, Ben Jacobs, tosser. Because that's how we think, that's what we think. And that's, unfortunately, the realism of journalism. And you say you're right, Cass, 100%. Everything you said is right. But Jarvis knows my view on it. So I always take the piss, don't I, Jarvis? So he'll say something and I'll just recite something quickly.
Yeah.
You know?
To me, even Einstein, his wordings since the transfer window, if you go and look at his tweets, they've not even been any bombers. They've just been this and that, nothing concrete. Like, if you looked at the last year, the year before, he was only coming out to confirm things. This is this happening. This is what's happening. This deal is close.
Yeah,
now,
United aren't talking, Nuruddin.
But it's not even about United. It's other clubs as well, to be fair.
United in particular aren't speaking. They're not talking to anybody.
I guarantee Man United are paying these people. Don't say a fucking word.
Yeah, potentially,
I probably think they're paying these journalists. Don't say anything.
It happens. It does happen.
Because it's scared of hijacks.
Yeah, it happens. Or you get offered. I know this is going to sound really daft. This is what I'm about to say now is going to sound really stupid. But you get offered scoops. If you keep quiet for 48 hours, we come to you first, and that's it.
Yeah.
When you break it, and that really does happen, guys. I promise you, it does.
Yeah,
happen.
Of course we know. Listen, we know that. Like, they'll be like, don't let this news out. Don't keep this to. And if anything, something comes up, it's backhanders, isn't it? I'll slap your back.
You get it first, and then you know, and you do it. But you got, journalists have got to be trusted. In our line of work, and I work in the aftermarket automotive industry as well, which is secretive as fuck. Jarvis does exactly the same. He works in the aftermarket, so he knows how secretive stuff is. You get embargoes and everything. If you go too quickly, you're finished. You're back at the queue, and your career's in trouble. It's your livelihood, isn't it? So, you're right, Cass. You're 100% right, mate.
Big up to Ben. I'll be having a great time. Good luck with golf. Good luck with the golf. He's apparently drank 8 and 9 Guinnesses.
Good lad.
It's in Barcelona, yeah.
Ben, you've got to get to 13, fella. That'll just get your stomach nice and ready. That's what you need.
Oh my.
13, trying to kill
I
him.
couldn't drink 3. I think I would.
Oh, it's good. I said, yeah, I love Guinness. It's
That's my dad's drink.
Yeah, I love Guinness. I do. Yeah, it's fucking beautiful.
Stu's old enough to be your dad, Cass. So yeah.
I don't know. I'm not. How old are you, Cass?
You might be older than my dad, actually.
You know,
Cass is young, man.
If he's younger than 56, then yeah, I am.
By the way, I could also be a journalist sometimes, and this came out saying that Roberto De Zerbi on Jed Spence and Bergvall. I would like you to stay if you want to stay, but if you don't want to stay, if you want to leave, then you have to leave. So my next question is: do you think Jed Spence could come up as a left back option for Man United if the Lewis Hall thing goes down the drain?
God forbid.
I'll have him as a right back.
No,
he's a left back, by the way. He's if we go by foot mob, left back is his primary position. But he's right footed. Yeah,
I've seen him play one of the best seasons where I first seen him. He played with Ghana and Nottingham Forest.
That was at Forest when he got promoted.
Yeah, and he played on the right side, and he tormented. I think they played 2 or 3 Premier League teams, and he tormented them.
Yeah, Arsenal
on the right hand side. Yeah. So at the end of the day, he's quick. He knows what he's doing. He's calm when he's getting into the other box. He's not a flapper. I'm just sick of Diego Dalot, if you ask me. He's just He might invert well. He might have a bit of athleticism, but when he gets to the area where you want him to put a ball in the right place and be consistent, he's not doing that.
I'm against right-footed left backs. I hate it.
Because you can't open your body up. You can't open your body up. The left-footed
different day and age.
Body up, and you can hit the ball down the line. You can't hit the ball down the line, and you're always checking back, even though he's quick. But
it depends if you want inverted fullbacks. Same as inverted wingers. It is a part of the tactical part of the game. And by the way, if you have extreme pace, you can't do as Mendes, Hakimi, Alphonso Davies at Bayern, come in full pace from the deep. No one can stop you.
Spence,
having that weapon in your arsenal, that's tremendous.
But Jed Spence can't cross a ball. Yeah. So for one, you've basically got the modern version of Wan-Bissaka. And that's exactly what I don't want. In possession, when he gets pressed, he ain't great either. He dribbles with his instep, which pisses me off, like Wan-Bissaka. I don't want a right-footed left back. I don't want this inverted bollocks. What's the point? Like, I want a left footer that can probably invert or go down the line. What's the point of buying Sesko to invert fullbacks? That's stupid. That is actually counter-progressive for me. The whole point of having a target man is because you have the option from fullbacks to probably cross the ball first time. How about get down the line and put a whip into the area? Because we don't see it enough. And when we do see it from like Luke Shaw, we score goals. But he don't do it enough because he's broken. I've had enough of right-footed left backs. They look good because it's easier because all these wingers are now inverted. So when they come onto their favoured foot, aka their lefts, you're right-footed. You're going to get the tackle because they don't want to go down the line.
is a right-footed left back. He's brilliant.
And he's mediocre.
If you're not Dennis Irwin, Jarvis, I'm not taking you. You have to be Dennis Irwin.
But Irwin didn't I'm too young to see the proper Irwin. But he dribbled. But from the tapes, he dribbled with his left foot as well,
and he crossed with his left foot. He would go on the outside and cross it with his left foot.
He was 2-footed. Let me tell you something about Jed Spence, guys. He's naive as fuck. Absolutely, totally naive. He can run. Absolutely fine, but Forrest Gump could run. You've got to know what you're doing.
A bit better than Forrest Gump.
Yeah, no,
his positioning defensively is awful.
Defensively, back to my point. He was terrible. His positioning.
Kajoglu's not great. What are we doing?
His reading of the game is awful. Jed Spence. But so speed, yeah, I totally agree. I mean, speed's a weapon that you do, but you've got to be able to do something when you've got the football. And I said to you, Jarvis, I text you, and the reason I brought Jed Spence up, by the way, Nuruddin, was that and that particular place is the naivety he showed as a defender at the very highest level at the most critical point in a game of football was unbelievable. I've got an ankle injury, so I'm going to do a pirouette, and then I'm going to rub my ankle and let the world's supposed best player gather the football, turn on me, and then get past me. That is naive defending at the highest fucking level. So if you can't do it at the World Cup, you won't be able to do it against somebody like Jeremy Doku, as an example. And I don't think Doku's that great, or anybody else that's got a modicum of common sense on how to attack a fullback.
You know what? I am sick of Diego Dalot. I would only ever take him as a right back. No way as a left back. No.
Yeah,
I'm not. I want my left backs to open their body when you receive the ball out and be able to whip a ball down the line or to put a ball in central. By the time you take touches, those passing lanes are cut out already. You know, by the time you come on your right foot, like the ball comes in, you come on your right foot unless you were Dennis Irwin. Like that's it. Dennis Irwin was the greatest, man. I watched the highlight the other night of '99 semi-final Juventus.
The thing about Irwin, though, no, Dennis, he'll get the ball, he'll take on his right peg, and he'll pop it to his left peg, and he'll go 10 yards, and he'll pop it back on his right peg, and then that's you know, great players do that. I don't see enough of it today in the game. I don't see enough of it. I can control my right, use my left, use my right, use my left. You're absolutely right. Wimbledon, do you remember his left-footed goal against Wimbledon?
He was a goal scorer. That's what people forget. He was a goal scorer. He was a
goal scorer. Great free kick taker. Brilliant at set pieces.
Could have played in midfield. Could have played
good tackler. But his positional play, you never beat Des Walker. Do you remember that? You never beat fucking Dennis Irwin. Nobody ever fucking got around him.
I only ever saw him make one mistake once.
Pass
back to Schmeichel, and I nearly had a heart attack. I was like. Dennis Irwin made him. We were all talking. Dennis Irwin made him
for that. He got a bollock for that, didn't he? It was well publicised, but he, those players like Dennis Irwin don't exist anymore. It's a shame. It's a shame. It bothers me.
Stu, we have a super chat from Mick. He came in 5 minutes ago. I forgot. Sorry about that, Mick. And because of that, I want to play you a quick jingle. It's a beautiful tune of Wayne Rooney.
Muting it.
And I said to her, would you kindly tell me who owns that code outside the door where my old coat should be? Hey, drunk you silly old fool, still you cannot see. That's the lovely blanket that me mother sent to me. It's many days I travelled, 100 miles or more, with buttons on that blanket sure I never saw before.
That's proper Irish sing-along.
That's worse.
Irish.
Worse every time I hear it. Thank you, Mick. Dino, he says, how's Scholesy? Eddie got offered to join, Catastrophe Newcastle. Personal terms, year of free whiskers.
Are you having it, Scholesy? No, he's just shook his head. He's not having it. He's just here.
Whiskers, whiskers. Good old whiskers. Nothing wrong with whiskers.
Yeah. But I was at that game when Scholesy, the real Scholesy, scored a hat-trick. I was in the clouds. Like we always
Newcastle.
Yeah, when it's the day that he scored a hat trick, I was there.
I was there when we got pot 5-1. Fucking Albert put that fucking lob. Do you remember that lob?
We were trailing. We were losing that game. If you remember the score, and Scholes got the hat trick. We were losing.
We were losing that game 2-0, 1-0, 2-0. And Scholes got didn't he get his third with a tapping or something? I remember. Yeah.
On the coach back, lost the voice. I was ill for 2 days, and I don't drink, but you just singing all the way down.
I've only been once to St James's Park because you can never get in. It's fucking impossible. Even as
it's the clap to me.
And I remember Albert getting the 5th, and I thought he did that stupid fucking celebration.
The chip.
Wanker.
Yes, guys. We have done quite a show, 1 hour, 48 minutes. So I want to talk a little bit about tactics. I promise you guys this one. So, I have had a theory all along that Carrick has studied PSG and Luis Enrique, and I think this is his final step. And by the way, I think we have done with the setting the defense, absorbing the mid block thing and the counter-attacking thing. We are moving towards more expansive football, more possession, and more domination when it comes to the games. And what I will be looking for this season is similarities to Luis Enrique. I showed you guys this video before, but I'll show it to you guys watching. So basically, you see PSG and how they have 3 different systems: the 3-1-6, the 3-2-5, and the 3-2-2-3, and how the rotation works. So let me just play it for you, and we can talk a little bit about how Carrick, if it's the case, if I'm right when it comes to my suspicion, if it's right, what can Man United do similar to this? So this is a PSG rotations. So you see Hakimi goes on the right, and they go to a back 3, a 3-1-6 with Vitinha central, and you have the rotations on each side. The other formation they have is the 3-2-5. Drop Vitinha in between and push the fullback in front, Hakimi and Mendes in the number 10 roles. And finally, you have the 3-2-2-3 formation with Dembele as the central striker. So especially the rotation thing, I think is a thing that we will see more of this season. We saw it a lot last season, but I think the step 2 will be when we have the fullbacks ready to push forward and do the 3-2-5 thing and push forward with the fullbacks.
I don't think that works for us, pal.
So
I don't think that works for us. I don't think we got the fullbacks to do it.
That's my case. That's what we are trying to talk. So guys, Stu, you can start.
I just don't see us with those fullbacks to do it. And right now, I mean, I've got it here on my phone because you sent it to me during the week, didn't you? And I quite like and I understand the way that he wants to play, but he's got the players to do it. When you've got the likes of Kvaratskhelia, Dembele, Doué, Barcola, even, although he's probably going to Liverpool, but you've got Vitinha. And I think that struck me about everything, and I've always said Vitinha was a 6. He was a holding player. He never moves out the centre of the pitch. He always stays in that area. Okay, he moves left on one little part, but he always stays in that area. And people will tell you to the blue in the face, PSG don't play with a 6. But they do. They always have done. But their overall 11 that allows them to do it, the 2 fullbacks in particular, Hakimi and Mendes. But then you've got Marquinhos. You've got leaders all over that pitch. You've got players with pace, players that can control the ball, 2-footed players, visionary players, tacklers, goal scorers, hard defender. You've got everything. And as much as Charles, your opinion on football, I respect the highest, but fuck me, there's no way Luke Shaw and Dalot, if we start with those 2, are going to be able to do anywhere near what Mendes and Hakimi. Now, Cass is laughing because he knows what I'm going to say. We popped Luke Shaw Dalot into that position, Hakimi inverted position in front of goal 4 times last season, and he hit the fucking moon 4 times when he got in. So that's
that was a gift.
Yes, that's right. And I think ultimately, I like the rotational side, and I've called for, Jarvis, and this is where we do agree. I've called for flexibility. How many times? You're sick of hearing me talk about it because I love flexibility in football, and this offers a variety of different systems in a single game. And we will all on this panel know, because we've all played football, we all know what it's like. If you are static in a game, the whole system breaks down by just one player being static because you're not in unison. And PSG, we've seen it plenty of times. They're in unison. But how many times have we seen Bruno not get back when he's lost the ball because he's rolling around on the floor with his arms in the air? How many times have we seen Cunha, bless him, go into a black hole, fall down, turn over quickly? It doesn't happen with PSG, but it happens with us. So I'm with you, my old mates. I want nothing more.
Dembele rolls around like a little bitch. quite
that,
a lot.
sorry?
To be fair. Dembele, he rolls around like a bit.
Oh, he does. Yeah, he does. He does. But
Fabian Ruiz does a lot as well. He's
they've
Spanish.
still
Isn't
got
it?
players to swallow it, haven't they? We don't. We always had.
I
That big
don't. I think
gap.
we're taking the Carrick PSG. I think Jarvis is taking the Carrick PSG thing a bit too far because he's mentioned it one time. I think there's. He's gonna have. I think he likes possession based, but he's gonna have to do his own style. You can't just copy Enrique. He's not gonna work. And I think so far there's nothing to indicate that we're going to play like that because of the way that attacking midfield and a striker at the moment has kind of switched positions at
But
times.
it's not just PSG. It's about the modern way of football.
I think
Look at
past the
Company, what he
move,
does by Bayern. You know, you
yeah, I
saw the
think-
best game of the Champions League last season and what those two teams produced.
Yeah, I think
That's
I
how
think-
modern football is
I
played
think we're
right
gonna
now.
find,
And I think
we're
that's
gonna,
the benchmark of every manager out
I
there.
think
Sorry.
I think we're gonna find pass and move. I think no matter what, I think it's gonna be you're gonna see players pop into positions and they have to be comfortable in the position. Hence why we're looking at Lewis Hall because he's comfortable inverting and also going down the line because he's got those qualities. I think Dalot can do that. I think Mazraoui can do that. I'm not really a big fan of Dalot's end product, realistically, but everything else I don't really have much of an issue with. Mazraoui's the issue is you're good at everything, but also it's the same Dalot problem is that you don't get down the line enough. You're just better defending. Dalot's probably get better getting forward. There could be an upgrade on that. There should be I think we're going to look at that position next summer. I don't think it's an issue this summer. And I think I'd be interested, and I hope he does. I hope Camerson gets a really good loan. I'm really heavy for the youth, and I think world football today of right backs are absolutely atrocious, anyways. So let's just look towards what we might have. If so, options will pop up no matter what. Right back shouldn't be hard. You can put a centre mid and right back; it will still work. But yeah, I think because we've gone for Tielemans, Santos, you see Mason Mount the third, but the second midfielder kind of get further forward and use rotations. I think that's why we're going for high IQ players at the moment that relies more on positioning and where to be rather than recoveries and stuff like that. So again, I think that's exactly why Chouameni's probably top of the list so far and why we want Sander Berg the most. Because they rely a lot on where to be on the pitch rather than recovering into a position. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. But you're not really going to get a lot of rotation. You can do it with Cunha. I fear what that might look like with someone like Marcus Rashford. But I feel like if Rashford's always on the move, anyways, rotating, you probably get the better Marcus Rashford. Because when Marcus Rashford is stationary and he's doing that positional gain like under Ten Hag, second season especially, it's awful. It's predictable. I hate that, and I think who's going to benefit out of this probably the most. Probably Ahmad. I think Ahmad is, if you can work combinations with him, especially, he is such a nightmare for me to pick up because he's always moving and he don't stop moving and he's got that low center gravity type of profile, which is very, very annoying. Ahmad's just got to work on his end products. Stop getting in two minds. Either you shoot or you square in it. Just please, just pick one. Don't take 3, 4, 5 seconds to decide. But yeah, I don't know. Be interesting. Sesko, I think he's an all-rounder. Anyways, he's a weird ass profile.
All right, that's Sesko.
Cass, I think you make a lot of good points, but for me, when I mentioned this, it's more complicated than just the three formations. It's not that we're trying to make PSG as our blueprint, but I think we are taking elements from it because football is not about the formations. It's about certain levels of the game. What
IQ. And that's exactly why I have a problem with Dalot over the years because his IQ is relied on him having confidence rather than knowing where to be more time. It does my head in. But I can't really argue with Dalot in the last year.
Yeah, but you have variations, variations in the game, and I think we are looking for that. I think the PSG model is based on the free man always, trying to find the free man and not playing directly on the free man, but going with a third man to create that.
The third man run.
Overload. Man run. They call it the free third man. You don't if there's a free man, you don't play directly. You play to another one and then to him. So it's the way you set up the game, and also it's about because Luis Enrique struggled when he was the manager of Spain because
Struggling in
everything
his
was
first show, PSG.
everything was too controlled. They were predictable. You know, the possessional play. Everybody thought that the possessional play was dead at that time because it became too predictable. They had no end product. 100 passes in between, trying to stretch the opposition, but they couldn't. So the element of control and chaos. He had to do something, and because of this, he changed up his game a little bit, and that's why you have the rotations now. And the rotations is not like fixed for rotations. They can go either way, and that's the thing.
Yeah.
And even Bruno can go from one side over to the left and rotate and make a diamond.
But that's why I think the tactics work. I think that's why it works. Just because of players like Bruno, Rashford, even if you don't like Rashford, couldn't you? Because they make the selfless run. We need more selfless runners to create the space in the middle of the park. And like Dorgu and that, when we were struggling they pressed us and then they counter pressed us again, like went man for man. And then before the centre back can get kind of, if for Rosenberg could get high and tight on someone like Xerxes or Lacey or anyone like that, what happened was Lacey actually made a run in behind, but Dorgu also done it, meaning the centre back had to make a choice. That's why, and I think we actually created a chance, so if not got a goal from, no, we didn't get the goal. That was afterwards, I believe. That's why I think the whole point is trying to create space. I think that's Carrick's game at the moment, is creating the space in the middle of the park more time. That's what I've gathered, but we'll never know until Saturday if he can replicate it or not.
The thing is, though, I have to say this, and I'm sorry, but this is an adaptation of the Holy Trinity. It is no different between the way, and if you watch the way that Law, Charlton, and Best played, it's no different. The Holy Trinity played circular. They did, and Neriden, who mocked up? Good old Nobby Styles. Small little character, mocked up. The rotation side of football, it's nothing new. It's been going for years. I tell you,
we don't be done it for years. That's why I said pass and move is so difficult. Think of 5-a-side. If you come up against 5 or 7-a-side, especially 7-a-side, because there's a little bit more space. You know, when you're like 6 of the outfield players just rotating, no one sticks in defense, they just keep moving. That's a nightmare. It's horrible to play against. Horrible.
Yeah. Not Ginger, Alan Ball was brilliant. Alan Ball would play between the 10, the 8, the 6, and he'd just keep moving backwards and forwards. Unbelievable player. But our Holy Trinity.
Johan Cruyff who said, what did he say? The playing easy, simple football is the hardest there is.
That's facts. That's absolutely right. And when you listen to Cruyff,
when the simple things in football are done right, it's magical.
See, that's why, when that's when I look at Carrick. I don't look at Carrick thinking he's trying to do Enrique, but I think he's aspiring to do total football overall. I don't think it's, even though Enrique, you could probably put something similar towards that, which is more, you could say tiki-taka instead. But the way I view things is, I think if you look at the way he's tactically kind of set up, I think he's going old school kind of Louis van Gaal. We're going back 30 years ago now.
My point is the element between chaos and structure, and yes, he's trying to set up a structure, let's say total football, but with the element of chaos, and the chaos is the rotations, and this is where I think the similarities between what Enrique is doing at PSG and what Carrick will try to do with Man United in time when we have the best players.
All of the Spanish coaches have been influenced by Van Gaal and Cruyff. All of them.
Yeah.
Every one of them.
I'd agree with that.
The whole of Spain, the whole of the coaching manual in Spain is inspired by.
But that's why I say I don't look at the tiki-taka adaptation. I look at this and think, I'm looking at Louis van Gaal Ajax. I'm looking at actually Ten Hag's Ajax. I think this is exactly what Carrick is trying to provide. I don't look at it as tiki-taka. I don't, because we played a little bit more direct. Because Ajax and Van Gaal wasn't really, you keep the ball, but it was direct and selfless runs and rotations, obviously. And no one realistically stayed in the same position. Like look at Heaven's positioning and Maguire's positioning in certain times. Did they stay at centre back? No, they didn't. Because Maguire actually shifted further forward a bit at times when Euro was bombing forward. I'm just saying, that's what I think is. I'm not saying it's the truth, but I don't think it's, because I look at Enrique and say that's just tiki-taka, but his version of it.
Well, what you're talking about actually is quite interesting, because actually when you go back to the Holy Trinity area cast, they did remain tight as a four. So they didn't push the fullbacks up too much. The centre halves very rarely operated outside their own half. But they allowed the front six, so to speak, to do that.
Yeah, I wouldn't know. You lot can tell me a little bit better, because you lot are ancient, so it's all good.
Well, we are, but that's how it was. But I mean, when Guardiola came in, Jarvis would say, "Cass, honestly, so will Nuruddin." I hate the fact that people think Guardiola changed football, because he just didn't. He really didn't. You look at Jimmy Greaves, fucking Greavesy, back in the 70s. He'd score goals from fucking anywhere. And he was a tallish player, but not a very tall modern striker. He was just a striker that decided and knew where to go to score goals. And we weren't crossing all the time from the byline. Steve Coppell in the 70s was a typical winger. So was Gordon Hill. So Frank Stapleton or Joe Jordan would feed off crosses in the box from the byline. That's how they used to play. And we would play a straight 4-4-2. But actually, Brian Kidd, yeah. But actually, football, it really is ultimately a 4-4-2, because if you lose possession, what do? You slip in to a 4-5-1 or a 4-4-2. That's it. And then you move your way out of it. And when you move your way out of possession, you're not doing it in a format. You're not putting in a 4-3-3 immediately or a 4-2-3-1. You're going in any direction you can to get up the pitch and score. The logistics of football for me is great. So when you talk about seven-a-side cast, actually your point's well made, because eventually when you are defending, you do defend in a 3 or maybe a 4, but when you attack, you might attack as a 2.
So I was just reading the comment.
I'll just say this. I'll just say this. The biggest thing, the key points, what you made a differentiation between why he struggled with Spain, Luis Enrique, and why
didn't have a lot of pace either in that Spanish side.
Here, he's relying on individual brilliance of Kvaratskhelia, Doué, Dembele. He's relying on even the midfielders like David, even the 2 fullbacks take on players and they eat up ground very quickly. But the biggest thing for me is that the rotations is there, but the false 9 is a massive key, because Dembele will drop into the halfway line and basically the centre-halves have got a decision to make, and then the fullbacks bomb on and that rotation keeps going. For me, individual brilliance is part of it. But I don't look at Luis Enrique and think he's tiki-taka. I really don't think. I actually don't think he plays tiki-taka football. I really don't think he plays tiki-taka.
You don't think so? I mean, I look at the team.
I think they're very good. They're a very good possession team. But
yeah,
but I don't.
Didn't Carrick? He was the assistant under Louis van Gaal, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Who Carrick?
Or no, he was under Oli and Mourinho.
He was under.
No, he was studying. He was studying under Van Gaal.
Yeah, he was studying under Van Gaal. Yeah.
He was.
Yeah. So for me, the biggest thing is the fullbacks. Fullbacks make Paris Saint-Germain that bring the dynamism, but also the individual brilliance.
That's what it's got to be for us.
Wingers.
That's what you got to be for
wingers who isolate the one-on-one take-ons, and they create that chaos. What you talked about, Jarvis. They Kvaratskhelia do they take people on. They take people on.
But I think a lot of people misunderstands when they talk about individual brilliance. It's almost like you just play the game and you have brilliant individuals. To get them to function, you have to set them up to be individual. To have those chances, set them up in those positions so they can do their thing. Yeah. And for me, when people criticize, for example, Oli saying it was just about individual brilliance and disregarding what he did as a manager. For me, I think that's a total fallacy, because it's about how you set up for those individual moments.
Yeah, you get them the space. You get them the. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that.
No, okay.
I'm not. Please don't misunderstand me. What I'm saying to you is that what creates the chaos. We talked about what it is. The chaos is created because you've got guys who can beat you from a standstill position. You've got a couple of players. You've got Doué and Kvaratskhelia who beat people. That's the hardest thing to do in football, is to beat people from standing position. Of course, it's the rhythm which they play to. But the football is always been about individual brilliance. The whole of football is being about quality players who can make the difference at the top end. Can they make the big difference at the top end? So that thing, I never felt for that individual brilliance. You know, it's up to me more about the moments because it's not consistent. That I could got behind when we became Moments FC. We play just in moments. The consistency is that can you do it for 70 minutes or 80 minutes? Can you consistently play other than just having 1 or 2 moments to decide a game? Sometimes it can work like that. But I don't see Luis Enrique as a tick-attacker guy. I see him to be at times very pragmatic. But the big thing is the individual players all make the system work. And what he does is that he brings out the best out of everybody. So the 2 fullbacks shine on the system. The 3 midfielders shine with the vertical passes. We see it that, you know, the third man runs. What they do, Dembele drops out. Then they go and fill that space. You've seen Fatinia. You've seen Neves scored goals. They take in turns to go. They also do the tactical fouling. They do the thing where they do that, the rugby tactics, where they kick off because they're so good at their press. Everybody's working beyond. You know what I mean? I mean, Dembele talks about it, like off the ball as well as on the ball. They are activated constantly. If you look at them, they're off the ball. That's why when they kick off, they hit the ball like a rugby. They go for yardage. That's in rugby union. That's why they do the yardage. They kick it to the corner, and everybody knows what they're doing. They know where the trap is. They play a bit lopsided. They go, okay, you can go this way. As soon as they go there, then 3 players hunt the ball, win it. They'll have a high turnover.
I agree.
And that's what they do.
I think if Carrick can still mould, and I think he's trying at the moment, Cunha into left wing. I don't look at Cunha as someone. I think he's quite good at isolating because he's good at holding up the ball and stuff like that. In the Premier League version, you got to think Premier League versions because you're not going to have the amount of space you do in Liga at times, and you can all be this ticky taka as much as you want. Because when you think of Liga and the fullbacks, they're pretty shit. To be fair, they're not great. They're usually wing backs more than anything. So I look at my thing is I think if you can get the winger version of Cunha like back end of last season, I think you got a player there, the one that wants to take it down the line a little bit more. The other one, my whole thing is Ahmad. I know people are going to scream and Bumo, but Bumo can't isolate. Ahmad can, but his consistency needs to up big time.
It's a big season for Ahmad. Massive season.
Yeah. I agree.
Huge season coming up for Ahmad. Huge season. The biggest thing I would say about the Luis Enrique drivers is that all of them have pace and power. That's why the system works, because the recovery is sharp, is quick. And that's why they have even the centre-backs. The centre-backs can only go high because they know the front boys are putting pressure on the ball. That's why they squeeze and suffocate teams, because they know Manchester United don't have that. But yes, I agree with you. What we saw, especially with the front 3, the different rotations, we saw the times I think we saw more with Diego Dalot in terms of the spaces he was running into, where he was finding himself. It was
nice, but the end product area.
But I understand what you're saying. But the 3 in midfield and the centre backs and the fullback, you have to have that players to be able to make that system really work. And I agree with what you said. Coaches are not; they don't copy each other. They're influenced by each other. They take bits. They take a little bit from here, a little bit from there, a little bit, and that's. But I agree with you. This is the modern way of football. It is have players who are
much better than long ball.
Who are comfortable on the ball, but who are also the team off the ball. Can they press? Now, what I liked against Rosenborg, I didn't look at the goals we scored and all that, because for me, I don't know. This is Rosenborg reserves or whatever it was we played. But what I liked is that how compact we were. And that was my biggest problem.
The 4-4-2 compact was naughty.
The compactness was huge. And I'm really in this preseason, when we lose the ball, I'm watching
who can get in position.
Lose the ball, what we're doing when we lose the ball. And that will tell me a lot about what Carrick's thinking. Of course, by the time we get to Dublin, I don't know how many days next week.
Next week, isn't it? Is it next week we're in Dublin?
The 7th. I think it's on the
players should be back. You should get
they're all back. So Tielemans we're not going to see against Atletico. I think we're going to see only Who's the only one that come back? I mean, Lamans won't play against Atletico.
Lamans
These
won't
them two won't play against Atletico. Who's the one that came back before them? The only one that we might see is actually Sesko and another. I'm missing somebody. Who am I thinking of? Somebody came back. I'm sure they came back.
Ahmad was there. Ahmad was there.
Yeah,
Ahmad's doing the gym work. He's doing the gym work.
Yeah. But people seem to forget with Ahmad as well. Like he lost his mother in about November, and and I'm sorry, people say but like look at towards that. Even when you got the new man, I'm like, brother, you lost your mother. Are you stupid? How do you? No one recovers from that. I don't think. I haven't unfortunately gone through that. Fortunately, I haven't gone through that. Sorry, but so I wouldn't understand the feeling. But I can imagine how much you don't want to be at work. Who wants to be at work? You try to probably occupy your mind, but you're still upset because you're still so focused that you can't even have your period of grieving. Do you know what I mean? You need time for stuff like that. People need us. It's like, remember when Ronaldo lost his lost his dad. Look at the period he had. Do people remember that? It was that guy couldn't. The guy went on focus mode, but do you know what I mean? It took the extra year afterwards, and he became a beast. His focus was beast mode. It was crazy. He's like, who the hell was this guy? So people need to understand, like, and I think he lost another relative. I'm pretty sure in the same year. I can't remember again, auntie or something.
Grief is hard. Grief is hard.
So
he went back home, by the way. He was in Ivory Coast.
Yeah. So I'm invested in someone like Ahmad because he's a brilliant footballer, and I think you don't need to rely on him for goals and assists. If you always, I liked what I saw when it was kind of him and the low overlapping and stuff like that. He's a hard worker. You can tell. You'd say he was probably better under Amrin, but after he fell off, but that kind of falls in the timeline period. So it's like, again, exactly. So it's awful. Sorry for your loss. So it's like, again,
sorry, Mick.
Mick. The left hand side. This is why, look, when you say pace, like Mendes, Nuno Mendes, and all that, I look at that Dorgu. Lewis Hall's rapid. He's got great recovery as well, by the way. So people need to understand that he just inverts under Eddie Howe because he needs more help with somebody inside. But I think if you've got players that can do a bit of both, I've seen Dorgu play on the inside as well. Funny enough, even in attacking areas so far. And it's like, he don't look like he's uncomfortable.
No, it's his best part of his game, going on the inside, because it comes with power and pace.
If we have a dictator in the middle of the park, where it's Tielemans, Manu probably needs to adopt a little bit more of that game. And then whoever the DM is, like Santos, I think he's got that in his locker. And you got fullbacks that can really make those runs constantly. You're going to knock out the other team no matter what. And then you're going to find yourself in space and pinning back teams. That's kind of why it's just kind of where I'm at. It could even be Tchouameni, because Tchouameni, actually, funny enough, as more of a natural six, probably allows you your fullbacks to push so much higher. And actually, funny enough, he allows your midfielders to push higher because you can just invert a fullback if you need to. So that's why I think Lewis Hall is so. You need to get him. You need to get him so badly.
Yeah, you need a whole.
We're getting him. We're getting Lewis Hall. After you told me about the finance thing, they definitely need to sell him. By the way, we had this super chat. I just want to read it out. Thank you so much, Blank, again for your donation, saying didn't Carrick go to Netherlands to study PSV and to learn? As far as I know, he didn't do that. So no. He didn't go to the Netherlands.
I'm pretty sure most badges you have to go over to the Netherlands anyways.
You go abroad.
No, sure. Yeah, I think it's the Netherlands.
You have to spend 2 days.
Carrick actually, when he wrote his UEFA license, pro license, he wrote his license on Formula One tactical strategies, and he interviewed the former Red Bull racing driver Mark Webber and Daniel Ricciardo. So you know about them too. So he actually he did study football actually when he took his UEFA pro license. So Carrick is kind of special. It's more about the mental game when it comes to his badge. And Jules came in with a 20 Jules party hat. Thank you so much, Jules, for the donations. I'm not entirely sure what the jewels and all of this do, but I think they generate some money. So thank you so much.
I believe so.
Yeah. So okay. So you're not agreeing with me that we might go for the PSG modern type of football. That's the end game.
I agree.
Of
I agree. I agree, because I think we're going towards a possession control situation. It's difficult to say right now because I need to see it with the actual players against harder opposition.
We play
I
tomorrow.
think-
Don't we? Do we play tomorrow?
Yeah, we played tomorrow at
Is it 5 o'clock?
2 or 5, something
Oh,
like
it's
that.
early, is it? Oh, okay.
So again, I think I'd expect to see a lot of the youngsters again. I'm not really. I like the youngsters, but I'm not invested into a lot of them. Like Jack Fletcher, not invested in him. I don't really want to see him. I like Tyler Fletcher a lot more. Devaney, I want to see what he can potentially bring again. But I'm not totally invested, if I'm totally honest. Again, there's only certain youngsters that I just feel like, what makes you so special?
Yeah.
So again, I'm kind of looking. The only kind of youngster I want to.
Thwaites is the one. You know, he's the
Yeah, it's just like,
he's
why
the
is he
Paul
not?
Scholes reincarnation. He's fantastic.
Why are we not seeing? Why are we not seeing minutes? You can't look at Devaney and look at Thwaites and think he's more scrawny than him or anything. I'm thinking, I just look at him thinking, why are you not unleashing him? Or is it because a lot of these players that are coming on is because they're playing for their position in the preseason, and Thwaites is like, you're gonna go anyways, because I don't know which ones are impressing so far. You probably say Camerser, Lacey, Amas. I'd say Thwaites and Gabriel are going to be the youngsters that eventually are the ones that have the remaining 3 games.
Yeah, Camerson's looked decent.
Gore, I think Gore's going. I think he's going to go on a permanent.
Yeah, Gore's gone, hasn't he? Yeah.
Yeah,
Fredrickson's
you know who I actually like? I know he's going to sound crazy, but he's not really getting any plaudits yet. Dan Armour, the left footer. Okay. I think there's something in there, you know. I think there's something in there, and not because he's like quite Harry Maguire. Like, he's much better than Harry Maguire as a footballer. Let's get that straight. But yeah, there's something interesting about him. Like, not like Fredrickson. I never even know why he even got an opportunity, to be honest. But yeah, Dan Armour, he looks.
Yeah, he went to
Luzon.
If you're gonna bring a centre back, I think it's him for me. He looks like he's good.
Yeah. Stu, do you have time? Guys, do you have 10 more minutes, or you're tired?
Yeah, fine, totally. Yeah,
okay, 10 minutes. Okay,
yeah,
9 minutes. 10 minutes.
Yeah.
We do a couple of questions at the end of the show and then wrap it up.
I just said, come in on that. I think a lot of the youth team, they've not been managed properly. I really don't think
they haven't.
There's no developmental plan.
Yeah,
it's basically swim or sink, and I'm worried that you can actually damage their careers if you don't do it properly.
I think there's a plan in place now.
They're trying to force the Fletcher brothers down on us. I can only see maybe one, Jack, but they're too lightweight.
It needs a better.
They need to go and play big man football. They need to go.
Yeah.
My uncle always used to say, "Go and play men who need to pay bills."
Yeah,
that's how you learn.
Yeah, why are they not getting loans? There's surely our clubs are super interested in a lot of these.
Yeah.
Surely.
It needs, guys, is a proper Premier League 2. And what I mean that it needs to be an open age group, Premier League 2. It needs to go back to the modern day reserve is what it needs to be. Because there's 0 point playing against 18-year-olds if you're 18. Because you don't learn, you don't build, you don't get any quicker.
Well, that's why other clubs, they choose wisely. They send them on loans. So to me, Championship is the best place for some of these youngsters. It's similar to Cheeto. Cheeto needs to go and
Got to go this year.
He needs to go on men who pay the bills.
Yeah.
People who that's their livelihood. If you're not stepping up for your livelihood, the dressing room's going to turn on you. And then you're out of the bubble of Manchester United.
Yeah.
But I don't think they've been managed properly. That's another big thing.
They're not being managed properly.
No.
Yeah,
my take on this. Okay, guys, just go. Sorry.
The Fletcher brothers. That's really rubbing on me. I don't see anything special in it. Actually, you know what? In neither of them.
Jack Fletcher can be a good player. I think.
I think you're getting the wrong Fletcher. I think it's Tyler Fletcher.
Jack Fletcher is more creative. He's got that wonder of a left foot. I think there's more in him, more talent in him.
I think that's Tyler Fletcher. I think you're thinking about.
Jack Fletcher is the left-footed.
No, I'm pretty sure.
I see Mick mentioning JJ Gabriel too. I think it's too soon. He's only 15, isn't he?
Yeah, he's
going to Barcelona anyway. He's going to go to Barcelona on a free next year. Watch this space.
He won't sign a scholarship, I don't think either. I agree. He won't get the game time this season. He won't. He won't.
He turned 16. When did he? When does he turn 16?
15. It's 15 at the moment.
October, and you're not allowed to play in it till you're 16.
No, we can play now. We can play from this season, apparently.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I think he turned 16 in a couple of months or a couple of months.
So he's born 6th of October. So yeah, he will be 16 in October. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think he can play this season, but I don't think he'll get the game time. To be honest.
But the fact that we ain't signed a left winger, they might, except for that Tynan Thompson and Rashford situation as well next year, there might be a little space for him.
Might be
potential.
Might be. But I was going to say when I interrupted Cass, sorry about that, but look at Saliba, how long it took him. Was it 2 or 3 seasons he was on loan?
3 seasons.
Three seasons. And I think this is the problem with our structure. We send these youngsters on 6 months loans or 12 months loans, and you don't even have the time to develop. I think it takes more time. And we've seen this with Alvaro Fernandez, for example. He went on a loan, came back, weren't an opening for him. Same with Garner, went to Nottingham Forest, played brilliantly in the championship. Remember Tuan Sebe when he had a brilliant loan at Aston Villa. We have had so many of these brilliant loans coming back. There's no options for them. There's no opening, and just goes away. So I think our developmental plan, as Nordin is talking about, needs to be longer than 6 to 12 months. We need to have a project for these guys. Send them on loan for 2 seasons, 3 seasons.
What is sending Kone?
If you're 18, why can't you play in France with one club for 3 seasons and then come back and be like the adult version of yourself? Fully
Look at the way they're treating Kone. What's the Swiss League going to teach Kone?
Oh,
Wants to be a Manchester United career.
Nothing.
Championship will do a lot more for him than going out there in Switzerland.
That Kone deal was somebody to help Lausanne Sports, and that alone. Facts. They picked. They probably single-handed picked him and said, "You're going to go Lausanne." They made his decision for him before he even knew.
Yeah, it's just, yeah.
But to be fair, if you can't do it over there, then you're not doing it over anywhere, are you? You're a dud. You have to. If you impress over there, it will get known. But it's like, is it a 6-month loan or is it a year loan?
It's a year loan. Yeah,
it's a year loan.
As far as I know. Yeah. But don't you agree, Cass? We should have a longer developmental plan for the youngsters that we have. We should be tying up like teams like Wigan, teams that are around Manchester, not even far, right? Oh. And start making relationships with these clubs so you can send players out on loan, so they're not far away from Manchester. Wigan,
Blackburn is just down the road.
Blackburn, Preston, if you want to go a little bit further, maybe. Oldham would be great. They're good for.
Preston's actually closer. Preston's closer to Manchester.
You got Burnley. I mean, Burnley could be for like the top products because they have a good system, good players, good group. Do you know what I mean? There's so many teams around Manchester. Like you could even go as far as Stoke. They're not the greatest at the moment. It's not far away. It's an hour down the road. I'm just saying, there's loads of clubs that you can make relationships for or with and start helping them out. Because it's like Chelsea just seem to develop everyone at Strasbourg. And then they'll buy them and then make a penny. Santos, there you go. Done.
Yeah.
We got Ben, by the way. He's having a night.
He is, good lad, man. Good lad.
Good lad. Good lad. Stu, do you have any questions for the last 5 minutes?
Yeah, I've got some questions, but I just want to go back on this development thing.
Yeah, okay.
It's the fucking player has got to want to develop. Also, we forget this. We talk about loans here, loans there. If the player doesn't want to develop or can't be bothered to develop, he's not going to grow. And do you know why? Because he's earning 10 grand at 18 at Manchester United. For what? To play under 18s football. There's no. Where's the? Where is the? I must go and develop. Where is the? I want to get to the first team. Where is the kind of push through anymore? These players, if you looked at, and this is a small thing, by the way, and everybody will laugh at me and tell me to fuck off, but it's important. The amount of players that have got their socks down by their fucking ankles now at 18 who've done fuck all in the game because they think that's the right thing to do. Pull your fucking socks up. Pull your socks up in life for a fucking start, and pull your socks up in the pitch, because stuff like that, the way that you, it determines the way that you look, takes away from your actual ability to play football, because you're not thinking straight. You're thinking about how, oh, are my socks all right? Fuck off. Pull your socks up. Fucking cut your hair. Make yourself a footballer. And they don't do it anymore because they don't have to. They don't have to because they think they made it in the game. And then the FA fucked everything up years ago when they got rid of the reserves and did under 18s and under 23s. What is the fucking point of that? There's no point. It's pointless. It's useless. When I was 16, I was playing Saturday League football and Sunday League football. I was doing both, and I was getting my fucking ass whipped at 16 by big fucking fat fuckers standing on me, punching me, kicking me. But it didn't stop me playing. You know, and you keep going and going and going. The kids of today are fucking weak because they get fed everything. They're spoon-fed the lot. And that's what pisses me off about modern football. Modernism in football isn't all about mollycoddling somebody. If you're not going to make the grade, go somewhere else. And if you don't think you're going to make the grade, ask to go somewhere else. Request to go somewhere else. And it doesn't happen in the modern game. It just doesn't do it. Where is the ambition exactly of these people? Where is the ambition of a footballer? I think you're right about JJ Gabriel. I really do. I've seen him a few times. I think he's a great player. But he probably won't sign his scholarship because he wants to go to Barcelona because his parents want him to go to Barcelona. Fuck all for his development. His parents. Anyway, that's my rant. It really pisses me off. The whole attitude of modern day players at that age, because they're made. They really are made.
Tough
By
time.
the way, I just want to say big up to Strasbourg, Steve. And by the way, Steve, if you want to come on Monday, we can have a chat on Newcastle and what's going on, the madness with the
It's hard
Magpies.
to tell us fucking Lewis Hall, man, and call it a day. Club shit.
Yeah, is he a Nuki fan, is he?
Yeah.
The only thing I would kick back on the thing is the player, but also the environment has to be right, Stu.
Sorry, yeah, I agree. No, I agree with that as well. But
the environment has to demand that from the young players.
That's what, as well, yeah.
How you bring them up is what you demand, the demands you put on them.
I don't think we do demand it, though, Nuruddin. That's my thing. That's my problem. I was talking to Cass and Jarvis about it earlier in the week. A friend of mine, his lad, and I know this, went to Chelsea at 18 at $5,000 a week. They were given a mansion so they could move all the families in. Then he moved to $9,000 a week. Didn't even kick a ball for the first team. Got to move to Burton Albion. Now he's gone to St Mirren. He's made money for what? What have you made? You gone from Chelsea to St Mirren. Fair play to him. You know, he's a pro footballer, boss.
Big up. Yeah. Agree, and a lot of people agree with you, Stu. But do you have any questions before we?
I don't know. I haven't even looked. So I think there's loads.
Yeah, there's loads. We can't do all of them. Do three questions. Yeah, that's good.
One each for you then. We'll better do one for Ben because he's absolutely hammered. But good lad anyway. Nuruddin, you can answer this one. Any advice for a fellow Irishman to convince his missus not to drink anymore? As I have a golf tea time at 8 a.m, I can't be fucking drinking anymore.
Water, plenty of water. Call it a night.
Yeah.
Hydrate, water. Yeah. When you got up in the morning, make sure you got those vitamin C. Things that you put on it, you put in water, mate. That's what you need.
Well,
I've never drank in my life, so I don't know what it is to get over that.
Well, you can save one of those Guinness and bring them with you home and jog it in the morning. You'll probably be fine.
Well, he lives on the birthplace of Guinness, so yeah. I hope you're having a great time, Ben.
Before we go to the next question, we have Timu gifted 5 Tactical Devils membership. Thank you so much. 5 tactical memberships. Let's see. Let's do that's a big gift. So you can have the let's do the Ronaldinho one. I know it's 35 seconds, but you can handle the brilliance of Ronaldinho.
Going on mute.
There's no music, so we have to see Stu making his comments.
That's definitely me. That is. I taught him everything he knows. I taught him everything he knows. I was watching actually the other day. If you remember the Chelsea goal he scored against Chelsea in the Champions League against Czech, I still am bemused by that. It was a brilliant goal. Yeah, he stopped and then bang, unbelievable goal.
Oh, look at him! This is like it's art.
He is. He's great player.
Thank
Check out
you,
his documentary on
Timu.
Netflix.
Yeah,
Fascinating documentary at the moment.
He's got. I've seen that. I haven't watched it.
It's
right.
good.
Jules got received a gift membership. So
Big up,
Jules,
Jules.
Strasbourg Steve.
Big up,
Also
Steve.
Is he Newcastle fan?
Yeah, big Newcastle fan. Yeah.
Tavagom got one. Hussein I am got one, and Demi Johnson.
Demi Johnson.
They got one. Yeah. So all good. Good old Jules. Welcome all. By the way, to
Thank you, Timu.
Gus, we got a question for you. Do you think JJ, Gabriel, and Lacey are the real deal?
I think Lacey can be. I think Gabriel. I'll be real. I like Gabriel, but he's too scrawny at the moment to play in the Premier. He'll get eaten up. He couldn't even handle the final against Man City boys. So it's like he's nowhere near ready. He's got all the talent. I think he's got good parent. Like I think he's got parents that drive him as well. I'd say I think he's definitely got drive. I don't really have issues with him whatsoever. I think he can definitely be something. He's just got to work hard. So he's got the talent, but I think he's got to work hard as well. For sure.
What do you think is his best attribute, Gabriel's? Because I'm struggling.
Dribbling. Dribbling and final pass is ridiculous.
He's Neymar. Neymar in disguise.
Modeled his whole game on Neymar.
Yeah. He's ridiculous. His talent is ridiculous. And the thing is, he's going to get taller. You can tell he's going to get a lot taller.
Yeah.
So he's going to get I think he's going to get his fair share of injuries. If he's not protected a little bit. Yeah, he looks like the type that's going to grow. Yeah, like Rashford's kind of tallness, I reckon.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think he is quite. I mean, he's 15 years old, so
yeah, he's going to shoot up.
Yeah, he's going to. Great, Jarvis. We have one. Thanks for that, Gus. Jarvis, we've got one for you from Mick.
Big up, Mick.
And Mick says, "Do you see Newcastle fighting relegation this season? And where do you see Manchester United, the mighty Manchester United, finishing?"
Yeah, I mean, what we don't know yet is how many players will be out. Most likely Bruno Guimaraes will go, 75 million Arsenal. Lewis Hall to us, hopefully, and maybe Joe Linton goes. So that's the whole of their midfield, their left back. They lost their winger, and they don't have any money, to sign anyone. We know the new manager likes to play Gegenpress, Ralf Ragnick, Jurgen Klopp type of football. I don't know. I
don't think they're going to be fighting relegation.
Nah, probably not. But I reckon they might be done. I think if they had Eddie Howe, they would have.
Yeah.
I think that project was over last year. I think he should have left last year.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
But they will struggle. They will struggle.
Yeah.
And then I see United finishing, let me be bold, second place.
Yeah, so do I. I see us finishing second.
It depends if we get in, isn't it? I suppose.
Yeah. Well, I think it'd be Arsenal, United, City.
I'm giddy.
That's my top four. Question for the whole panel from Bilal. He always throws in questions like this. Start with you, Jarvis. Have you ever met a non-footballing sports person or celebrity? I know you don't like the C word, Stu, so I put, he must have said that. So, Jarvis.
Well, sports person,
or
the guy who won the VRC rally, Petter Solberg, who drive the Subaru. I met him.
I think we've heard of him. He was okay. He was average.
Who was his co-driver? Was it Colin McRae or someone on his team, Subaru team?
No, they were on the same team. Yeah,
they were on the same team.
I don't know. He was a world champion, Jarvis.
He was.
He's out of a driver. His brother Henning was just as good.
He
Sorry, mate. I'm on motorsport now. Cass?
Funny enough, I used to wash Jason Statham's car.
No way.
Ooh.
Yeah, I used to live in Dulwich, and when I was young, I was what was I, like 16, 17? After like football and stuff, like I used to wash cars and stuff like that. Like I was making every summer, and then Jason Statham's knocked on the door and he's like, looks at you, don't even say hello. I'm like, I'm looking at your car. He said, how much? A tenner. Wow. I was like, sweet. It was if that's counted as a meeting, cool. It's got a very, very, very nice house in the village.
I bet it has. Nuruddin, I know the answer to this because you met hundreds of people. So
yeah, I've met a lot. I worked in a big cultural arts centre, so I met a lot of directors and film people. Met a lot of different people.
Yeah.
The other sportman was I met Usain Bolt. Yeah, so actually Saeed and I were hanging out with him, but he comes to Manchester a lot.
Yeah, he does. I know. Yeah,
Saeed and Flawless hung out, went out raving with him. But yeah, I've met many different types of people, like what they call celebrities.
Well, so cool.
I'm not even. Yeah, but I met loads.
I can't say too much because I've met hundreds of sportsmen doing what I do for a living. I've met loads of so-called celebrities as well. But I guess my favourite one, which Jarvis knows, is I was having a waz at Silverstone in the VIP area at MotoGP, and John Wick himself came in and stood at the urinal next.
John Wick.
Yeah.
Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, Keanu Reeves. Yeah.
I bet oh man, I'd love to meet that guy.
He was so fucking cool. And I'm having a waz, and I looked twice at him, and he was grinning at me, laughing at me. So, you're right, mate. Yeah, cool, man. He says, and fucking hell, enough. It was a surreal moment, Cass. Surreal.
Did you tell him you're gonna wash your hands?
I said, shall I shake your hand? He just laughed. But incidentally, when you talk about, people do say this. I didn't tell you at the time because I completely forgot, but I did see him hold the door open for a lot of people. He was just like that Keanu Reeves. He's just that type of player. So but Jarvis knows that story.
It was a brilliant story. Brilliant.
Wait, are they not making a John Wick 5 or something?
It's in negotiations.
That's cinema for me. That is, it's up there. That's serious.
Another question, guys. This will be the last one, then I think. But again, it's an interesting one. Jules says, "Who was worse, Moyes or Amorim?" Who wants that one? Who wants that one? You can all have it.
To watch the football, it's Amorim. Yeah, I think it's Amorim, 100%. Yeah, Amorim.
Nuruddin?
Yeah, it's Amorim, but I don't blame him because I blame the people who bought him here. He was not compatible with the squad, and the person who told them the truth, they sacked him.
Yeah, that's true. Jarvis, I know what you're going to say.
Amorim for sure.
I think it's a fair question.
Square holes and round pegs.
Yeah, it's a fair question. But we may all agree on the panel. We may not. Did Moyes get enough time? I don't know. None of us know.
No, and he didn't get any transfers. Well, he didn't get any.
He shouldn't have got any. He shouldn't have got time in the first place.
He should have got a job.
Fergie
wanted the legacy. Fergie didn't want to be forgotten. That's why he didn't want a big manager coming in after him.
Well, actually, he did try to get Pep, and Pep wanted a break.
Oh, yeah.
But Pep already knew he was going to go City.
So,
Jurgen Klopp. Everybody was talking about Jurgen Klopp at that time. Fergie could have got Jurgen Klopp. They did speak to him, and then Ed Woodward told him about being Hollywood and all that bullshit.
Yeah, that's true.
Hollywood.
Yeah.
We'll go with this question as the last question.
Ed Woodward told him that Manchester United's like Hollywood. And when he went to Liverpool, they showed him around. They told him about the history of the city. They talked to him about the work.
Woodward was one of the worst things that ever happened to this club, man.
Oh, wasn't he just?
Yeah.
Next door neighbour of Gary Lineker. If you know, you know.
Gary.
Final question, lads, and I would like you to answer this because I think Kevin Keegan was an immense footballer. He was one of the hardest players. He was solid as a fucking rock. Great goal scorer, brilliant engine, good passer. He's a decent guy, as it happens. Kevin Keegan was, and he loved brutes, as Stephanie reminded us when the day he passed away. So, have you all got thoughts on Kevin Keegan?
Yeah, I mean, didn't he win the European Player of the Year twice? Or was it Hamburg?
When he went, was it Hamburg, wasn't he?
Hamburg,
When he won that, wasn't it? Liverpool. He was. Yeah, I know he won it at Hamburg. Yeah.
I mean, I think I really liked the way Newcastle played under him when we came back and hunting them down.
When we came back and beat them,
yeah. He seemed like a decent person. I remember I tell the story. My friend's birthday. There's a restaurant in Manchester called Ben Brazil. It's a famous steak house in Manchester. A lot of the footballers and people go. And we were in there, and he was his manager of Man City. We all came in, and he was really nice. We shook hands with him.
People forget he managed Man City, don't they?
And I remember him just saying about how tall I was and taking the piss. But he was friendly, humble, relatable. He wasn't this kind of. He was there with a couple of people, and there was about 10 of us in there.
What a player. Yeah. Jarvis replaced at Liverpool, by the way, by King Kenny, of all people.
Yeah, but I'm not born and raised in Britain, so I don't know Kevin Keegan as much. He was a celebrity. Everybody have heard of Kevin Keegan, him and Kenny Dalglish and all of the Liverpool players in the 80s. You saw them on TV sometimes, when Liverpool did well in the Europe and all of this. But I respect him, and it's a shame that he passed away. And
he's been struggling with cancer for the past couple of years. That's why he's not been seen in public. Yeah.
It's a terrible disease. So many people got affected. So my heart goes out to all of you who's been affected one way or another, with cancer. It's terrible.
Funnily enough, he never appeared in the Carling advert, did he? Never did.
No, he didn't.
Because I thought he would have, but he never appeared in that. Cass, do you remember much of Keegan or?
Not at all.
As a manager, you remember him as a manager, though?
Manager, or?
Just about, maybe.
Yeah.
England, Newcastle, Fulham.
Yeah.
That's management. That's the first. I think Fulham. Did he get Fulham promoted? I think he got Fulham promoted, if I'm not mistaken.
Not mistaken.
From the Championship to the Premier.
Yeah. Then he was at City, wasn't he? And then I think he didn't do Scunthorpe as well, or somewhere like that at some point.
Stockport? No.
Scunthorpe.
Maybe, but yeah. I just remember Newcastle, Fulham. Those are the big, and City. I remember managing those three.
Yeah, he's only got two memorable moments though.
And then the England when he quit.
Yeah, I remember when he smashed up Germany. I think he did as a manager. Or did we get smashed up?
Germany beat us at Wembley.
5-0 or 4-0 or some crap like that. And then the other one was obviously the famous Lions, and then he got routed. That's all I know about him, realistically.
You'd have liked him as a player, Cass. You'd have liked him. He's wholehearted, really good player. You'd have liked him.
I've seen videos of him.
Yeah, good player.
To get to be voted the European Player of the Year,
no slouch. Yeah, no slouch. Jarvis, back to you, my old mate.
Yes, it's been a brilliant show. 2 hours 48 minutes. So we will go 2 hours 50. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we are on 168 likes. For almost 3 hours, guys. If you haven't smashed the like already, it's time to do it now before we end the show. I would love for us to come up to a 200 like mark on this show. It's been a brilliant show. A lot of people been watching with us for these hours. Top contenders of the evening is Blank, Mick, MUFC Realist TV, Ramos, Yalman Min, Danny B, Dave, Mohammed, Tom Porter, and Monty. and Will United are the top 10 contributors to the live chat. And also wanna shout out Blank for all his super chat, Tom Porter for his duels, Ramo for his duels. Let's see. More of Blank, thank you, Blank, thank you, Blank, and Mick with his super chat, and also Jules with his party hats, and last but not least, Timu for his 5 gifted tactical membership. So,
we're getting
I don't know.
think-
I'm just trying to put something out there into the world. We get the bomber tomorrow. We got to have something. We're getting something. Rodri's getting agreed tomorrow, and then there's going to be true many news. I'm predicting it right now.
You heard it here first. Yeah.
Thank you, Cass. Let's hope so. So thank you, guys. It's been a brilliant show. And if this was your first time on the Tactical Devils, please subscribe to the channel, smash a like afterwards, leave a comment in the non-live section, and hype the show if it's an option in your region. So thank you, Nuruddin. Thank you, Cass. Thank you, Stu. Thank you, everybody. Have a good night. And we will be back Sunday night, 9 p.m., Stu and I. And
Sunday night.
Sunday night. So remember to tune in then. Have a good one, and bye-bye. Bye-bye.